Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Chill Stream. I'm Megan Fox, your resident medium smart journalist. I'm sitting here with IT Goatee Brad, who jumped at the chance to get on the stream tonight because there's some new stuff.
Yeah, we're getting some spicy stories coming out now, guys. This is going to be fun.
This is going to be great. We've got a first look at inside the hearing that happened yesterday between Owens and Echard. Owens v. Echard.
Mm-hmm.
We've got, now I realize it's only 8 minutes, but I feel like we have a lot to say between those 8 minutes based on what we're going to hear. And it will give us a taste of what happened. And we should be getting the full video, I would say probably tomorrow, definitely by Monday. And when we do get the full video, believe me, we will go over it. So if you have not liked this stream, like it now, share it, please. Right before we came on, Brad, I knocked over a cup of day-old coffee on the floor.
Oh, no.
And I got it wiped up, but it doesn't smell very good.
Yeah.
I'm not thrilled about that. I really have got to remember to clean off the coffee cups from my desk every day. My desk is a huge mess right now.
We decided that, I don't know who, someone stacked a bunch of sippy cups that we had left around, and then you had to play the guessing game of which one's water and which one's milk.
Yeah. Nothing worse than leaving one of those, by the way, in the car because it rolls under a seat. And then what happens if it's milk is it explodes at some point.
I haven't had the exploding. But...
that's going to happen. It's going to happen, Brad. Just keep living with children and it's going to happen. So
please no.
What's happening with Nick Rekieta? I just spoke to Nick today. He's doing good. He's fine. Don't believe the hype. Okay. Don't believe the hype. Nick is fine. He's good. Just busy and tired. Life will exhaust you at some point. So everybody do me a favor and say only positive and good things about our friend who lost-blains the interwebs for us, okay? All right. Seriously, I'm getting tired of the, all the nonsense and the channels that are dedicated to dragging down a person who has been so incredibly generous to so many people on YouTube, who has been, the catalyst behind building so many channels. All those people whose channels that he was instrumental in building should be kissing the ground he walks on, is all I have to say. Okay? Because they wouldn't have channels without him. And he's the nicest guy on earth. So please, just be kind. All right. Yeah, 5 kids. Who said that? 5 kids. Are you kidding? He's exhausted. Exactly. He's exhausted, as all of us are who are raising children and trying to work full time. And, this is an exhausting task, you guys. It ain't easy. And anyway, Flux is in the chat. Good to see you here. All right.
Yeah, I could be relaxing playing video games and whatnot while my son's asleep, but no, I'm here entertaining you guys, so.
All right, let us go first. And by the way, big shout out to Jimmy Jenkins at Arizona Central. He is the first mainstream reporter to pick up this story. His second article came out today, and it is a doozy. It is so good. He was actually in the courtroom. And I was told that USA Today was also in the courtroom, but that could also just be Jimmy.
That's him.
That's him. Okay. Because he writes for AZ Central that's owned by USA Today, right, if I'm understanding that correct. Okay. So Jimmy Jenkins, he has this new article that's out. It's called In Court, Lawyers for Bachelor Star Question Scottsdale Woman's Pregnancy Claim. His first article was pretty bare bones, but this second one is absolutely fire. It's so good. Should we read it before we get to let's read it.
Yeah,
let's read it.
When you guys see the video of this courtroom, there's not enough people in there for there to be an additional journalist, because you've got Dave Neal's Dana, you've got Jimmy, and there's one other person in the courtroom.
Yep. Hey, Sarah says, first time live in locals, and I'm pumped. Great. Thank you for the super chat. And by the way, the locals chat is open, and I have not opened it up on my screen because I'm a bad host. Why haven't I done that, Brad?
Good question, because you're going to be missing out on all the memes.
I know, the memes, the memes. Does anybody have the bingo card ready? Do we have a bingo card going? We need to find out. Let's see. How do I get over to the live chat? megantalks.locals.com. You can follow me there for free, but if you want to take part in the live chats and locals exclusive stuff, you gotta sign up. It is $5 a month. If you, oh my God, there's already memes. If you want to get started on that and to get in with the meme farmers, use promo code Tonsil Twins, all caps, and you'll get 2 free months when you sign up for a year. Now, Locals is already starting with the memes. Let me see. I'm trying to pull it up. There it is. Oh my God. Hold on. 20 days since lawyer recused. 0 days. Oh, this is so good. I am wondering how long it's going to take before.
This dude's not going to last. I can
You don't
smell
think
it.
so? You can smell it? Well, I'll tell you what, I wrote an article today too. Clickety click, by the way, because I wrote an article. This is the wrong article. What do I have in front of me here? That's the wrong thing. I wrote an article on pjmedia.com about this article that Jimmy Jenkins wrote, and also about the updates in the case. Please,
look
folks,
at you, front page top.
Am I trending again?
I
was. Yeah,
you're
I am
number
still
2.
trending. Number 2. It's trending number 2. Let's get it to number 1, folks. Clickety click. Clickety click. Here we go. I'm going to put it in the chat. This article is doing very well. I'm putting it in the locals chat as well. And Rumble, how you doing over there on the Rumble ghetto? I didn't forget about you. I know you're here. I just don't have you open. I can't see you because I haven't done all the things that I was supposed to do before I started this stream. Okay, opening up the Rumble chat and dropping it in the Rumble chat as we speak. Clickety click. Is this the same journalist you mentioned? Yes, Scorpion, it is. But he and I got it worked out. He said he misunderstood the intention of my tweet, and so we're fine now. So that's all good. So same guy, and he's doing a bang up job, you guys. He deserves a lot of credit for this, because this is one of those stories that mainstream press generally will not touch with a 10-foot pole unless they are forced into it by, those of us out here who just put up so much noise about it that they can't ignore it anymore. But what we're discovering here is that I think that he got involved in this, and now he's like very interested. And that's great, because I can tell from this article that he's interested in this and he's paying attention. So let's read it. Attorneys for former Bachelor star Clayton Echard on Wednesday challenged the pregnancy and miscarriage timeline of a Scottsdale woman who asserted she was carrying Echard's twins, demanded child support, and then said she was no longer pregnant. During a hearing in a Phoenix courtroom, Laura Owens' attorney told Judge Julie Mata that Owens had miscarried the pregnancy before mid-November. I believe my client went to the doctor in mid-November, and that's when it was determined that she had a miscarriage, said Corey Keith. We would believe that it was in the maybe month or 2 months leading up to that time. Greg Woodnick, Echard's attorney, questioned the chronology presented by Keith. The statement of counsel was just that the mother says she had a miscarriage 2 months before November, Woodnick said. In November, the parties appeared in front of Judge Galketsis, where mother had a pregnant belly, and told Judge Galketsis that she was 100% pregnant by my client. If there is a timeline discrepancy that Owens was lying at the previous hearing, Woodnick said, then Mata should consider that when deciding on sanctions and attorney's fees. Both parties agreed to allow Mata to review video of the November hearing. Owens, who described herself in court, can I ask a question, Brad? Why would the parties need to agree to allow a judge to review video of that hearing that is public?
They shouldn't.
What the hell? The judge can just say, show me the video. What the hell?
Because the case was transferred in, and the judge has full view of every filing and piece of the docket. There's no reason why it'd be like, oh, we need to agree to allow you to root. That's
I know that doesn't make sense. Brianne Wilson, thanks for the super chat, says, Megan, you need to give Laura some hair tips. She may be beyond help.
She's too busy pulling it out at the moment. She needs to seek some counseling before we can get her hair fixed.
Thank you for the super chat, Sarah. Appreciate that. All right. Owens, who described herself in court records as being a podcast host and in horse sales. Oh, God. Podcast host and horse sales. Filed a petition for a court order of paternity seeking child support from Echard in Maricopa County Superior Court in August. Echard, a Scottsdale-based real estate agent, personal training coach, and former star of The Bachelor, responded by denying paternity. In court filings, he said he and Owens had oral sex, but that was all. Owens subsequently filed a motion to dismiss the petition to establish paternity, saying she was no longer pregnant. While Mata has agreed to dismiss the paternity petition, both sides are still seeking attorney's fees. And Echard is I don't think that's right. She actually continued the paternity petition.
Yeah, up until the end of December when she filed the motion.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to get to the video in just a second, I promise, guys. And Echard is seeking sanctions against Owens. Echard claims Owens' paternity lawsuit was filed as a form of harassment. On Wednesday, Mata ordered the disclosure of all of Owens' medical records going back to August of 2020, 1 year before her first filing. Medical records proving the miscarriage would be provided to Echard's attorneys by the end of the week, Keith said. Records from at least 4 physicians would be provided, he said. I think what they're going to do is actually provide expert witnesses who have not actually seen her to just say that this could have happened. There's no way that they have these records because I don't think they exist.
Yeah, they said they're going to provide proof of pregnancy, but the thing is we already know that she claimed in the evidentiary hearing that was done in November where she was rubbing her belly and downing monsters that she said she had seen an OB the Friday before. So there is no way in hell that she can claim. And then they're going to get that once they're able to get all the documents from the practitioners that she supposedly saw, because she had like 6 OBGYNs for some stupid reason.
Right. Keanne Wags asked podcast host and horse sales? No, I think you misunderstood, Keanne.
No, she's a professional shit slugger.
Horse sales. Or horse shit sales, maybe?
Yeah.
Keanne says, I swear that's what I heard, and it's not wrong. Hilarious. You kill me. Okay. Keith also said Owens had not lied in front of Galketsis during an earlier hearing. The reality is sometimes people have miscarriages and they don't know that they miscarried, said Keith, who was not present for the previous hearing. I'm not saying that is the circumstance here. Owens' testimony is an upcoming deposition and eventual trial, as well as an expert testimony that would clarify the timeline, Keith said. See, I told you, expert testimony. Man, she paid for an expert? Unbelievable. I am saying that my client has not lied in this case. She has not intentionally lied to the court. So what you're saying is she's lied, but it wasn't intentional.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
What's funny is on the docket, there was a mention of change of firm, but I don't know who that was in reference to.
Recently?
Yeah.
Oh, I think Keith may have changed law firms. I think he may have. I don't know though. I don't know. That's what I heard, but that could be wrong. So don't take that to the bank. I don't know. Owens has a pattern. Oh wait, I love this. Whether or not she was pregnant on that date, I think she could have testified that she was pregnant, and she could have had a miscarriage days prior. I don't know. Owens has a pattern of falsely claiming to be pregnant, said Isabel Ranney, an attorney for Echard, in an interview after the hearing. The premise of our motion for sanctions is that this was all fraud, Randy said. Owens in 2021 filed a lawsuit alleging abortion coercion and intentional infliction of emotional distress against a Scottsdale man named Gregory Gillespie. Owens's claims were not successful. Gillespie was in court for Wednesday's hearing, but declined an interview request. Keith did not respond to a request for an interview Wednesday. Gee, I wonder why. An evidentiary hearing scheduled for February 7th was canceled. Echard's attorneys are scheduled to depose Owens on March 1st. A trial is set for June 10th. All right, let's get
1 week from tomorrow. It's going to be fantastic.
Oh, it's going to be so fantastic. I hope to God that deposition is released. The video needs to be released. Let us now go to the portions of the hearing that were released to the public and get the first look inside Wednesday's status hearing of Owens v. Echard.
All right. Need it, please.
And we have Laura Owens looking, what is she wearing? She's wearing some kind of white top.
Good morning.
And it looks like we have Greg Gillespie in the black t-shirt, his girlfriend in the white, I think next to him probably. I think that might be his girlfriend, although she's just given birth, so maybe that's a sister or something. Yeah, I could be wrong. And then a reporter. I see one reporter in the courtroom. I do not see Jenkins, but he must be in there somewhere. Maybe he's just off camera.
So if you look, there's a line down the center for the 4 different camera views. And if you scroll back like 2 seconds, you can see that someone stands next to the girlfriend there. So there's someone there in black behind her.
Oh, yeah, I see that. Okay.
But there's not many people there.
Also, it's possible that Jimmy was on the Zoom. He might not have been in the courtroom. He could have just been in the Zoom.
He's an Arizona person, though. He would be in the room if... Because it was said USA Today is in the courtroom. So
I wish that I had known this was on Zoom and I could go. We could watch it. I would have been
This is
in there
Microsoft Teams. This isn't Zoom.
Well, whatever. I mean, it was broadcast, right? So somewhere. I mean, we probably wouldn't have been able to broadcast it, but I could have been in there and watching. Oh, so the chat is saying Jimmy is behind Laura. That's possible. Is there? I see someone something underneath the arm of Corey Keith. Corey Keith is wearing a black on black shirt and tie and an ill-fitting gray suit. Right. Okay. All right, here we go. No, I don't see anybody behind Laura.
Yeah, there's no one there.
Good morning, everyone. This is the time set in FC 2023-052-114. Appearances, please. Beginning first with Petitioner's Counsel.
Morning, Your Honor. Corey Keith appearing on behalf of Petitioner Laura Owens. Myself and client are both present, appearing in person.
Good morning to you both. And from the respondent.
Good morning, Judge. Greg Woodnick. I've got Clayton Echard with me, and my associate Isabel Ranny is behind me.
Oh, so that's his associate behind him. That's not a reporter.
No. Directly sitting behind him in front of the wall is a attorney.
Oh, I see. The one in the black coat.
No, directly behind Woodnick. He's standing in front of her right now. She's blonde.
That's weird. I didn't see her when they were seated. All right. Anyway, Clayton is looking kind of dapper. He's got his mullet going on, the perm mullet, and he's wearing what looks to be a suede jacket of sorts and a black t-shirt. Looking pretty dapper.
Good morning to all three of you.
There she is.
All right. This is the time set for status conference. As the parties vote no, a motion to continue was filed. Mr. Woodnick, that was your motion, so I'll allow you to go first.
Judge, thank you. As the court is aware, in the meetings, we have zero disclosure. I don't think zero is an understatement. I did speak with counsel in the hallway. He indicated that disclosure was forthcoming, maybe as soon as later this week. I'll believe it when I see it, but in any event, we are not prepared to go to trial next week on any.
Oh my God. I'll believe it when I see it. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. So no disclosure, for those of you who don't know, disclosure would be discovery, where the opposing party is asked, where both parties are asked for discovery in the case of evidence for their case. Clayton has turned over everything they've asked for. Laura Owens has turned over nothing this entire time. Nothing. I can't believe they let this go on this long.
Of the things that she's given, we believe has been fabricated evidence. And in Greg Woodnick's motions for the past 4 or 5 months, they're like, she's given us nothing. We've asked for documents and she's given us nothing. We've asked for the HIPAA release. In fact, we've sent it to her at like 3 different times that she should be able to provide us, and then we can clear most of this up. But no, she hasn't done it. And it wasn't until this hearing that we actually got the HIPAA release and all of these orders that are going to make this move forward.
Yeah, I love this. And he says he's going to be giving us this, discovery. I'll believe it when I see it. And we are not ready to go to trial. That's where we just left off. We cannot go to trial. We've gotten nothing.
Any of the remaining issues because we have nothing. I'm asking the court to reset the trial for 45, 60 days, whatever the court's availability is. And I'm asking the court to give us 2 hours.
All right, counsel.
All right, that was an editing cut, but that AZ Central put in there. So now we're moving on. We don't know what happened in between there and this moment. Just to let you know, this has been edited by AZ Central. They did not post the entire hearing. I wish they had. I reached out to the reporter and asked him if he would, put it on a Dropbox. I don't know if he will. But we should have the entire hearing by, I would say, early next week, because I do know that it has been requested. And so we're hoping that will happen.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, we're not opposing the motion to continue the trial. We're in agreement with the need for the continuance on the.
Of course not, because
Yeah.
they want as much time as humanly possible to come up with a valid explanation for all of this shit.
But they know that the longer they prolong it, it's going to increase the attorney's fees they're going to have to pay.
Well, that's true. But also in Corey Keith's, for him, it's also going to increase his bill.
Yeah.
So either way, the attorneys always win.
A trial. I did want to address, we received a ruling regarding our motion for confidentiality this morning. There has been new evidence, threats to my client's life that were made to her on Facebook since the pleading practice regarding the motion practice.
Are they kidding? He's really going to bring this up. That there have been threats against my client's life on Facebook. I mean, listen, we don't know if those threats were real. Idiots on the interwebs will idiot. That's what they do. If you don't want to see these threats, log off of Facebook, and suddenly there are no threats. Just saying. And we still don't know who made the threats. It could have been her for all we know. I think she has a lot of Facebook puppets. Can't prove that, don't know it for a fact, but that is my experience with people like this. They will open up accounts in a bunch of different names and fabricate things to corroborate their story. But, maybe it's real. I don't know, but I wouldn't call it an actual threat.
Regarding that motion for confidentiality. So I did want to have the opportunity to address that with the court, assuming that the court's position still remains
Hands
the
in
same
pockets,
with
not a
regards to
very
that.
good look.
That's a really bad body language for a courtroom. Do not stand in front of a judge with your hands in your pockets. Absurd. Maybe this is why he advertises as a discount family attorney. Because you get discount attorney in front of the judge too. Those pants really don't fit him very well either. I don't know if you noticed, like a couple seconds back, he had his hands out of his pockets and he was like, here, hold on. I wonder if I can go back. His hands out of his pocket. Look at that. Look at the pleats. What is happening? I'm here to also critique the fashion in the courtroom. Zaddy Greg has on a very bright blue and white checkered tie, like a plaid tie. It's coming across very well, even on this Zoom meeting. I like it. It works. Those pleats are doing nothing for you, Corey. They're making your ass look huge.
One of the tips that I received when I was interviewing and whatnot was never wear a white shirt and a black tie, because it doesn't do anything for anyone, and it you drown in the sea of white shirt and black ties. So whenever I've interviewed for a place, I've wore a blue shirt with a black on blue tie to help stand myself out and be more amenable, and it's generally worked.
Well, this black on black look too is also like very mobster. And from a distance, it makes it look like he's not even wearing a tie, like he might be wearing a bolo, which is just inappropriate for a courtroom, I think. I don't know. It is Arizona.
It
Maybe
is
people wear,
Arizona.
yeah, maybe people wear bolos there, but I can't get over the pleats in the pants. It makes it look like he has a Brazilian butt lift.
I don't know if it's so much pleats or if it's just the waist is so much bigger and like he bought pants that are 2 or 3 sizes too big, and then once you put the belt on, it's crunching them on the sides
I don't
because
know,
of all
but
the extra fabric.
he looks like Kim Kardashian when you look at her from the front. You can see her ass from the front. That's what he looks like here. This is Corey. These pants are not doing anything for you, sir. Nothing. You need to get better pants that fit you properly, because we're definitely going to mock this going forward if you don't fix this. This is a this is a bad look for court.
Have the opportunity to address that with the court, assuming that the court's position still remains the same with regards to that motion. I did indicate to Mr. Woodnick we will have discovery forthcoming by the end of the week with relation to my client's pregnancy records.
Why by the end of the week, Corey? You should have them on a stack on the desk right now. You should be like, it's all right here, Your Honor. It's right here. Here you go. I'll hand them over to the defense or to the defense right now.
The Indian guy that they paid to write all of it isn't done with it yet.
Why next week? Has your client not given you the discovery yet, Corey? Did you not do basic, investigation into this case? Now, I've spoken to several lawyers today, including my sister and Nick Ricada, about this particular issue, about this very issue. I asked them, does a lawyer have a basic duty to do investigation into a client's allegations before taking a case? The resounding answer was yes. He has no excuse, none, not to know the mountains of evidence against his client at this point. And the rules of professional conduct require, through the American Bar Association, that if he knows that material has been presented to the court that is false, he has a duty to actually tell the judge. This is a civil case. This is not a criminal case. If you know that your client is guilty in criminal court, you don't have to inform anyone. However, you can't question that person if they want to take the stand, because then you're putting yourself in a real pickle, legally speaking. But in a civil case, it is my understanding that you do have to inform the court if there is fraud being perpetrated on the court, because you're an officer of the court and you're not allowed to take part in that. So it's unbelievable to me. No, I don't believe this, Sheila. Sheila T says Corey hasn't seemed to have a full grasp on this case. He doesn't seem to have reviewed the history of this case. That is his fault. That is 100% his fault. He should have reviewed it when she walked into his office before he decided to take her on as a client. That's when you do your investigation, not after you take money from some possible vexatious crazy person.
The one thing in this that he'll talk about is, he said, I've spoken to a number of experts about the possibility of her miscarrying and not knowing about it. So he's done a modicum of research to dig her or attempt to dig her out of a hole. But whether he's actually done research about her and how vexatious she is, I don't think he's gone that far.
But he should have, is what I'm telling you. I have spoken to lawyers. My sister does both civil and criminal cases. I asked her specifically, Stephanie, do you do a case search on everyone you might be, taking as a client? And she goes, oh, absolutely. That's the first thing I do. I also do a Google search. I'll look at their social media, and I will do an intense question session with them. And if I sense any bullshit, it's a done deal. I don't take their money. So, because she told me, she said, I won't have anything to do with perpetrating a fraud on the court. I will not do it. And that's what a good attorney would do. You cannot. Everybody here knows my sister. I didn't out her. Everybody knows Stephanie. She's been on this channel lots of times, and she is a very good attorney. And she would never put her license in jeopardy to represent somebody who was full of shit. And any good attorney would do a basic amount of investigation, including and starting with a case search. All he had to do to find out what kind of client this would be is look at the docket in his own damn county. But I don't, if he did that and so we have a problem. If he did that and he saw what she had been up to for the last several years and still took the case, then he's a crap attorney. And if he didn't do that, just a basic docket search, he's also a crap attorney. So I have come to the conclusion that Corey Keith cannot possibly be a very good attorney if he hasn't done either of those things. And that's unfortunate. Do better, Corey. He seems like a pretty young guy. He probably hasn't been at this for very long. And
I just had his LinkedIn up.
Tara Rayner, thanks for the super chat, says he needed a Mona Lisa veto on his side. Tara Rayner also sent the super chat, says looks like he has birthing hips. Yeah, but they also look fake, like a BBL. I'm telling you. He looks like he's been reading too many issues of People.
Says he's been an attorney for 4 years, 10 months.
4 years. That's not a lot of time. So he most likely has not had much trial experience. Most likely is maybe desperate for clients. You know, it is possible that naivete has played a part in this, and maybe he really needs clients. And so he jumped. And it's possible. Here's the other option. My sister was suggesting this, that perhaps she dumped a big load of money on him. And plaintiff's cases, she tells me, are extremely expensive. And a lawyer doesn't usually take a plaintiff's case unless the case is really good and they have a ton of money up front because it costs so much to take. The stream is blurry for you. Everybody's saying the stream is blurry. It's not blurry for me, but then again, I am not watching it on YouTube. Let me go and check the YouTube.
The video is blurry, but
am I blurry?
No,
or is
you're
it...
not blurry.
Okay,
at least
so
that I can see.
You can see that. Okay.
But
Yeah.
remember, this is a court stream. You've got 4 probably 720p cameras that they're collaging into this mosaic that we've got here. So
and it's a Zoom recording, for God's sake.
So it's not going to be great.
Yeah, it's not going to be good. Tara Rayner, thanks for the super chat, says, wonder if she's friends with Amber Heard. They're terrible at this, destroying any man they can get gig. Yeah, I know. She's very similar. She's very similar to, I keep saying Zoom and it's Microsoft Teams. I know. Teams, whatever. Teams, Zoom, it's all blurry. You're saying Linz, you're saying it's all blurry, like me and Brad are blurry too. It might be your connection. Why don't you try refreshing and see what happens? I have heard that there's widespread internet problems today too. Not only the AT&T outage, but internet problems as well. So it could be that. Tamara Jane. This is my contribution to deter Megan from getting off topic and talking about her hair. Come on, everyone, chip in. That's a good idea because I do have some things about my hair that I might want to get into in case the super chats dry up. Rosalind Duke says I'm on cocktail number 2. Blurry is my normal. Girl, I love you. You're so funny. I am on cocktail number 2 as well. My ice has already melted, though. That means I'm not drinking it fast enough. Tonight's cocktail is a rum and Coke. It's what I don't usually have, but I decided to go for rum tonight instead of whiskey.
Drink water, you heathens.
That's no fun. Brad, the hell, man?
It's healthy.
Stop trying to make us feel guilty.
Although my face is flushed more than yours, which is...
Yeah. Well, that could just be your natural cheeriness shining through. That's all. All right. Isn't this the third firm since 2019? Actually, it could be more than that.
I think it's more than that. She's gone through at least 3 attorneys just in Echard's case alone.
And a lot more in the others.
Yeah, and Woodnick has been with Greg Gillespie and others. So,
Cassie, Says Megan just joined the live stream, but wanted to say your article released earlier today was fire. Amazing to read. Thank you. I appreciate that. I did get some good feedback on it, and I really appreciate that you guys are clickety-clicking on it. Please continue to clickety-click on it. I will drop it in the chat yet again in case those of you who are just showing up have not been able to clickety-click yet. It really does help me. It's free for you. It isn't, you don't have to pay anything to do it, but it does go directly into my paycheck. Every click that comes from a new person goes directly into my paycheck, and it supports the work that we do here. So I really appreciate it. And if you share it on social media, especially in groups on Facebook and stuff, that's where it will go very viral. So if you know of any Facebook groups you guys are chatting in that are discussing this case, please do share it in there. I would really appreciate it because Facebook doesn't allow me to share my own articles in groups. Facebook accuses me of spam when I do that, and it sucks.
You know who else really likes this article? Reddit.
Who? Oh, do they?
Yes.
They're not complaining about me?
I sent you that earlier.
Homophobic, racist, transphobic piece of garbage, demonic pizza with toppings from hell.
No, none of that.
No, none of that.
None of that.
And it's more like, oh crap, I don't have the read up.
They may have started warming up to me. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but I did see some of it. I when you sent that to me, I did go and look a little bit, but I don't think I got through all the comments. But I'm glad that they liked it. I'm very glad that they liked it. Because I want to be friends with Reddit. I'm interested in making Americans friends again. And that's really the whole point of my being here in my channel. I want us to all get along. So let's try and do that. So I appreciate you, Reddit, for being more accepting and tolerant of my diverse views this time.
Look at Squid posting links. We're so thankful for you, Squid.
So thankful for you, Squid. All right. Wait, slightly neurotic says it's almost bedtime, Megan. Can we continue? Yes, let's do it.
Discovery has been requested far outside of the scope of what I believe is appropriate, and so I was hoping to be able to address that with the court as well today.
Okay. All right. So we'll deal with the motion to continue first, then we'll deal with re-urging on the confidentiality and the discovery.
Did you see Greg? He looks really nervous. Did you just see that big sigh?
I didn't know.
Poor Greg. Let's just take a moment of silence for Greg, who has been through so much with her. I'm going to back up just a little bit so we can see Greg's reaction here, because he gives a big, I don't know if it's an eye roll and a sigh, but watch Greg Woodnick. He's in the black, not Greg Woodnick, Greg Gillespie. There's too many Gregs in this story.
Yeah.
Greg Gillespie in the black t-shirt. I circled I'm circling him with my mouse. There he is right there. Watch him.
Okay. All right. So we'll deal with the motion to continue first, then we'll deal with re-urging on the confidentiality and the discovery.
That's some body language, huh? I mean, he just has been so put upon by this whole thing. Okay, the video cuts here again, and so we don't know. We know that she did continue it, and then it's going to skip forward to wherever AZ edited this, and Greg Woodnick is about to speak. Zaddy Greg, here he comes.
Your Honor, I believe my client went to the doctor in mid-November, and that's when it was determined that she had a miscarriage. We would believe that it was in the maybe month or 2 months leading up to that time.
Pause it
So
real quick.
previous counsel should have disclosed that.
Why isn't he standing?
Well, I was just going to say that. Look at this. You have Woodnick standing, but you've got Corey Keith sitting at the table speaking at the judge.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so weird what they think they can get away with.
I see Jimmy, by the way. Here's Jimmy.
That's Jimmy.
That's Jimmy right there. Yep.
Is he wearing a looks like he's wearing a chauffeur's cap too.
I don't know. I think that's just his hair. He has curly hair. So maybe you're just seeing his hair. He's a curly girl like me, except not a girl. Okay. So why is Corey Keith sitting down? This is interesting.
Correct.
Well, Your Honor, I believe that the increasingly concerning nature of this case and the request for confidentiality.
Oh, there you go. Finally. Sir, who taught you how to argue in front of a judge? You can't say, if I was the judge, I'd be like, don't address me sitting down. What are you doing? Did you pass Lawyering 101? Is that what it's called? Is that the class you take? Lawyering 101?
You would think, but they should just call it decorum before the court. But
Yes, decorum, sir. Squid for a quo says, decorum, sir. First of all, take your damn hands out of your pockets, out of your pleated pants, and stand up when you are addressing the court. For fuck's sake, Greg's standing up and he's not even talking.
right.
He's raring to go. He's like, I'm ready. I'm ready, Judge. I'm ready.
And the request for the dismissal, I believe that given the fact that everything my client sends to respondent is being shared with the media, believe that warrants at least some degree of the court.
Okay,
Yeah.
I have to argue with him here. Everything she sends to the client, to the defendant, is not being shared with the media. Everything she files in court has been shared with the media. I have not received one thing from anyone that was not shared in a public filing. Nothing. I've received nothing that wasn't shared in, not one email, not one anything that wasn't shared in a public court filing. And this part really pisses me off because it leads the judge to make a decision to say that no exhibits will now be shared going forward in any of the court filings. And I think that is absolute bullshit. Who gets to seal exhibits? I can understand. If the exhibits are medical records, fine, redact them. But if they are emails, they should not be redacted and kept from the public, because that is the evidence that she has fabricated this shit. And the stuff that imagine if this were done before we got to see the records and we didn't get to see the dating contract.
Yeah.
And and that email about how tight she was. Oh God. That's going to make me puke just thinking
So here's
about
the
it.
thing. So think about this in a normal like criminal trial sense. You don't see anything until the trial has actually started. And what we've been going through for the past 8 or 9 months is all pre-trial bullshit that Laura has tried to put on Clayton, and every filing that's gone through has had to have some kind of exhibit or something on it, and it's attached in all of these motions. So you're literally giving all of the things that would be presented at a traditional trial that we're now going to be getting on June 10th in these pretrial motions. So it's not a matter of even if it was sealed or not, it's exhibits that you've posted or that Greg Woodnick has filed on Clayton's behalf has had to have include in order to be able to show how disgusting this case is.
Yeah, I think that going forward, if I were Greg Woodnick, and I'm not giving him any advice, I'm just saying if I were him going forward, I would make sure to describe in detail every exhibit that was being attached. I would quote them extensively in my filings because that can't be redacted. I do understand, though, redacting the medical records. That's fine. We don't need her medical records. We just need the defense to see this so-called proof of pregnancy. All right, we'll continue.
Finding her actions to be reasonable. She is actually receiving threats to her life,
Bullshit.
voicemails on her phone. I mean, this is concerning conduct from the public. And so we were just waiting on, same thing with the deposition.
Concerning
No.
conduct from the public? Really? Wait, did you do any forensic evaluation of those Facebook posts? So you can just claim to a court that she's receiving death threats without doing any investigation into where they came from and not calling the police about it, as far as I know. Did she make a report? Did she ask the FBI to look into these so-called death threats?
Probably not.
This is bullshit.
I told Mr. Woodnick we would appear for a deposition if the court ordered us to. We just wanted to have the motion to quash and the motion.
Oh my God. You were
No.
ordered to appear at a deposition and you didn't do it. You didn't show up. You were ordered. You were ordered to be there and you already didn't. don't you say with a straight face to a judge after not showing up to a deposition that, oh, we're happy to show up if ordered. A scheduled, properly noticed deposition is an order from the court, and she had no excuse not to show up to that.
Mm-hmm.
Bullshit. Absolute bullshit. I'm going to back up a little bit.
But she can show up to Clayton's, no problem.
Oh, yeah, she had no problem showing up to that. No problem whatsoever. Sarah, thanks. Sarah Adams, thanks for the super chat. I'm borderline scared of you when you are angry. Everyone is. McCrae, thanks for the super chat. Says, hi, Megan. I've been mostly offline today. Did you stream earlier? No, I did not. It is winter break for my children, so I've been hanging out with them. Plus, Mr. Fox is traveling, so I'm a single parent right now this week, so it's pretty difficult for me to do that. Glad you were following up on this, and holy crap, American Nightmare was everything you said it was. I told you. I told you. It was crazy.
We did do a recording for episode 9 earlier. But...
Oh, right. I did stream episode 9 on locals only. So my Fox Den Daily podcast, if you are not subscribed to Fox Den Daily, you need to do that. It gives you a quick 25-minute recap of all the court drama going on and all the stories I'm covering and a lot of the stories that you guys are interested in that other law tubers are covering. And so I go into, basically just recaps of everything and where you should find the important stuff you want to see. And that's Fox Den Daily on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon. It's supposed to be on Google. I signed up, but it appears to not be there. I don't know.
Google Podcasts is shutting down come July, so
no wonder
they're folding it into YouTube somehow. So
oh, gotcha. That's why there's that button there that says share with YouTube. But does that create like a whole new channel? I really don't know. Mike Sullivan, thanks for the super chat. Lawyering 101 is for the medium smart kids.
You mean I can be a lawyer too?
Unhung Hero says maybe she paid with her tight hoo-ha. Oh, no. Lord.
Oh, no.
No, we are not alleging that happened. I disavow. Darcy, thanks to the super chat, says, Unhung Hero, you still want to fix her. LOL. I don't know how anybody could still want to fix her. Oksana says YouTube Music is where the podcasts will be. Okay, that's interesting. Is it free to access those? I really don't know. Anyway, just go subscribe on wherever you get your podcasts. It's free. Fox Den Daily. You will like it. And you will hear Brad. What are you giggling about?
Assumes facts, not evidence.
You can hear Brad use his fantastic announcer voice to announce the show, which is very exciting. It's my favorite part of every show is Brad.
Whose topics have been described by haters as a demonic pizza with toppings from hell.
It's so good. I think we need to incorporate that into the short intro. I think that would be funny.
The shorter intro?
Yeah, can you incorporate that into the daily intro?
I
think you can.
We should just
I believe that you can.
Then we should just do the trailer as
the original trailer? Maybe. Yeah, maybe I should do that. Unhung Hero says, I can fix her or have fun trying. No, you can't, because she'll drag you through court for several years. All right. Here we
Maria
go.
got her stream fixed.
Who?
Maria.
Oh, perfect. Terrific. Glad to hear it. Here we go.
I told Mr. Woodnick we would appear for a deposition if the court ordered us to. We just wanted to have the motion to quash and the motion for confidentiality ruled on prior to doing so because we wanted to have the court's input into if those things were necessary.
But counsel, my follow-up question to you then would be, if she had disclosed it in November, wouldn't this case have simply gone away and these issues wouldn't remain?
Well, no, Your Honor, because she did disclose the fact that she had a miscarriage. It's well documented.
Not in November.
At the end of December.
No way, man. At the end, it wasn't even, I thought it was January. When did she file the motion? She filed the
dismissal the January 28th. They responded July 3rd, and then they replied to the response January 11th.
Wait, the motion to dismiss that she put in was put in on what date? December
28th.
Okay, December 28th. Gotcha.
It's in the filings.
So no, she did not disclose it in November. So he's wrong. He either just hasn't looked at the case history, which there's no excuse for that, or he's misleading the court. It's one or the other. Bullshit, Corey. This is bullshit.
The court
This is-
received and considered petitioner's motion to dismiss petition to establish paternity, legal decision-making, parenting time, and child support with prejudice, filed on December 28th, 2023. Respondent's response/objection filed January 3rd, and petitioner's reply filed January 10th. So
All
I was
right,
close.
gotcha. You were
I said
close.
11.
Because she did disclose the fact that she had a miscarriage. It's well documented in our pleadings. I understand that the medical record either, but my client does have a patient. She has privileges that in this case are not only being not considered or not fully considered, but it's being taken even further, and her documents are being, I have no doubt that the second we send over that disclosure statement by the end of the week, all of her records will be on Reddit.
Disclosure
That's-
statement.
That's bullshit. Further, she has sent no actual medical records. We have seen no actual medical records except for stuff that she put on a public Dropbox. That's the other thing I wanted to bring up. She shared all of this stuff we've seen that's been on Reddit. She shared it to a public Dropbox that she shared with the media. She shared it with Dave Neal. She shared it with Reality Steve. She shared it with all of Reddit. So she cannot claim that her medical records have been leaked by Clayton Echard when she herself put them online. She did.
And so, Your Honor, I don't believe that. I understand where the court is coming from, and I think that had there been some sort of an agreement, we've offered for the documents to be shared between counsel. I've offered for him to come to my office and see the documents. And we've had some discussion about that. Obviously, the recent pleadings, I think, may change that from the court, but it's not us trying to hide the ball. It's us trying to make sure that my client's medical records aren't shared with the entire world.
No.
So that's an interesting thing too.
That's so dumb because it's not a matter of counsel sharing it with the world, which would be against court procedures anyway. It's because stuff is filed in these court motions. Like, you can't say that a public court docket is now supposed to be privileged, and when you're posting all of this stuff, and
you can ask the clerk, by the way, to redact certain things in the exhibits, just like we saw in the Kowalski case. There were plenty of items in those filings in the exhibits that were redacted, but you have to ask the clerk to do it. She has filed public documents with no redactions on these supposed medical records. I like what No One A Arrow fan says. How can he leak what he never got? Very good question. And also, by the way, I just want to say, for the record, I have received 0 leaks from Clayton Echard's camp. 0, none. To my absolute, disappointment, I have received no leaks from Clayton Echard's camp. And believe me, I've tried because I am a reporter and that's what I do.
If I was in Greg Woodnick's camp, I wouldn't want to go to his opposing counsel's office to look at this evidence either, because I wouldn't be able to trust it, because it could be stuff that she's produced and given to him, him being Corey Keith, and then he's trying to share it and be like, look, this is what she gave me. It's like, no, that's not what Zaddy Greg asked for. Zaddy Greg asked for the documents to be shared to him from the doctors themselves. He wants it direct from the doctors. He doesn't want it from the files that Laura Owens has given to her attorneys. He's not interested in that. Nobody's interested in that, because you can't verify and authenticate those documents. It's like Corey Keith has no idea how authentication works in documents. It's crazy. All right. This is funny. Brianne Wilson, thanks for the super chat. IT Goatee with the dates. Yeah, he's on top of things, man. But he always is. IT Goatee is a literally
gem.
just read this like 2 days ago, which is why the dates are in my head.
Yeah, our Justice for Clayton on Reddit is doing some amazing work on keeping the timeline updated. And so they have this really terrific timeline right now. If you want to go and look at that, shout out to Reddit, by the way. We've had our differences, but my God, that page does a wonderful job, just an absolutely wonderful job keeping this information out there, keeping it free. So does justiceforclayton.com. Which is the wiki page. So, shout out to you guys out there who are really dedicating all of your time for free to Clayton's cause. What wonderful people you seem to be, that you're spending this much time doing this much research to help someone that you don't even know. I think it's pretty wonderful, and cheers to you. Cheers, guys.
All right, we'll have the minute at Gray reflect that no party is to disclose outside of themselves any medical or other documentation disclosed between the parties.
See, I think the judge went over. She went too far. She could have just said any medical records. Instead, she said medical or other documents that are in exhibits. No. Too far. Too far.
That goes both ways. I don't want anyone releasing any exhibits, medical records, or anything else regarding the other person. And that goes both ways, and truthfully should go without saying, but I recognize it does not in this case.
Why would it go without saying? No one ever has to redact exhibits, Your Honor. Exhibits are not redacted unless you ask the clerk to do so.
Yeah, the biggest thing about this is that no exhibits are going to come out now because you're not going to get much, if any, motions, because you're going to just get the deposition in March, and then any further discovery in April and May in leading up to the trial in June. So there's not going to be a chance for a whole bunch of documents to just get dumped until the trial actually occurs in June, and then all of the exhibits are going to get posted to the public docket, and then it's all going to be there anyway.
Yeah, it's very, unless they get orders to redact a bunch of it, which I guess they could. I don't know. Sabine Simone, thanks for the super chat, says Dave Neal made a great joke earlier about his court appearance, and I can't let it get lost. Scroll up in the chat, throws Canadian bucks at you. Well, I did just scroll up in the chat, and I'm not seeing the joke. You can try writing it again, and I'll try to keep my eye on it, or Brad will. We'll try and keep our eyes open. Laura swallows horse pills. Thanks to the super chat. Dana, call the FBI and ask for a witness protection program. Well, we can't see Dana's face really, so I think it'll be okay because it's pretty blurry. We're not going to worry about that. Yeah, you know what? That flux. That is a very good point. What if Laura leaks some of this information herself under one of her fake Reddit names, and then Clayton is blamed for it? I would not put that past her. This is something that she will use against him if she can. And I hope the judge understands what she's dealing with here. I hope she understands that she's dealing with someone who is diabolical enough to leak her own stuff. What?
I think I found it.
You found the joke? Okay,
Yeah.
Put it up.
I found it in the regular chat. I got to scroll up to find it.
Oh, okay. Glenn F, thanks to the super chat, says, I hope this case goes all the way to the end because someone needs to expose this vile woman for everything. Oh, it's going all the way to the end. She has no choice. The judge has ordered it. It is going all the way to the end. Now, it's not going to happen until June 10th, but there's no getting out of it at this point. She has been forced to sign the HIPAA agreement, so they now can subpoena all these alleged medical records. And it's happening. Don't out Dave's reporter. We don't want Janeth Doeth to target her. Right, but everybody knows Dana was in the courtroom. Someone should have brought a Dave Neal cardboard cutout for the courtroom. Dave, you're here? Dave.
He was here. That was 10 minutes ago.
Dave, you're welcome to come on. I invited him, but I think he has family in, and probably cannot join us. But if you change your mind, just text me and I'll send you the link because this is a lot of fun. All right, here we go.
I'm going to order that the records be disclosed dating back to August of 2020. That's 1 year prior to the first filing. I think that that's appropriate.
Appreciate that Your Honor's not living this case every day, but the testimony,
Okay, wait. It was important to understand that the judge just said she was going to give an entire year prior for the medical records to be released. That's incredible because that will cover some of the time that Greg Gillespie. Let's watch his reaction.
Well, no, she said August 2020. That's even further.
That's even further than a year.
Yeah.
Wait, let's hear that again.
The records be disclosed dating back to August of 2020. That's 1 year prior to the first filing. I think that that's appropriate.
1 year prior to the first filing in this case?
No, because the case was filed in August of 2023.
2023. Oh, did she make a mistake? Let's not point it out just in case. Because
If it goes, she said it goes back to 2020, which if it does, means it goes back into Greg Gillespie's territory.
right.
Because then they would be able to establish the fact pattern that she has
Oh, I know
been-
what they're doing. Yep, the chat's right. She means 1 year prior to the filing in Greg's case. Because Greg's case is coming into this because they're using evidence from previous filings. It
Yeah.
was the other judge that didn't want to know about any of that. The harassment hearing.
Yeah.
This judge, though, wants to know what was the history. This judge is not fucking around. That's right, Jane
Yeah.
Jones. This judge is not fucking around. Yeah, Greg started shifting in his seat. And did you notice that Zaddy Greg looked back over there, too? At the
August of 2020. That's 1 year prior to the
Well-
first filing.
I don't know who he's looking at, but he's
Nah, he's just looking off to the side.
he's looking off to the
I think
side.
that that's appropriate.
And yeah, Greg
Appreciate that Your Honor's not living
Gillespie
this
was
case every
shifting.
day, but the testimony, not the testimony, the statement of counsel was just that mother says she had a miscarriage 2 months before November.
I like that Laura's furiously scribbling notes right now. This is a thing, by the way, that lawyers will tell their clients to do in court when you don't know what to do with yourself, or if you feel like you might make an inappropriate face, or that you might because we know that Laura has, if you've looked at the thumbnail of tonight's stream, you notice that Laura has many faces. In fact, let me bring that up for you. I'm going to bring up the thumbnail that I made tonight because the many faces of Laura Owens are numerous and also hilarious.
I think the biggest difference here is that this
Can you
isn't.
see?
There's
Can you
no
see
jury.
the many faces?
Oh
Wait,
yes, quite.
quite. The many faces of Laura Owens during her hearings are pretty interesting. And so when you're in court, obviously your lawyer doesn't want you to do that. He would not want this. A lawyer would look at this thing that she did. And this was her video she made for Facebook, but she also made these very similar faces in a court hearing on camera. And a lawyer would be like, okay, you cannot make these faces in a court hearing. In fact, let me get rid of this so you can actually see these faces better. A lawyer would be like, listen, you cannot react. You cannot do whatever this is in court because it makes you look nuts. So what they will do instead is they will tell you when you feel like you're going to have a reaction that I don't want you to make, that we've talked about that you cannot make, I need you to just write on this tablet and on this piece of paper instead. And it doesn't matter what you're writing. You can doodle, you can draw, you can make notes, you can whatever, you can write your feelings down. But do not, under any circumstances, make those crazy faces. That's what this is about.
I think,
In my that's my theory anyway.
I think it matters more in a jury trial, but right now in this status hearing, I don't think whether if she makes a loud, boisterous comeuppance, then yeah, it's gonna look bad on her. But if she sits there mean mugging the judge in a status hearing, I really don't think it's gonna affect her that much.
The chance of her actually doing it towards the judge are pretty bad, but I mean pretty slim. I think what she would do though is make reactions to Greg Woodnick speaking. And it just doesn't it won't look good on her for the judge to see that she has no I overrode
you're
whatever
good.
you put up there. Tina, thanks for the super chat. Seriously though, it's only a matter of time before the truth comes out. What is she actually going to do? She's going to have to admit everything. Oh no, this woman's never going to admit anything. She's going to stick to the story till she dies. Dave says she was rewriting her own script. Thanks, Mindy. That's funny. Laura's notepad. Mrs. Laura Echard. Clayton loves me. Laura plus Clayton.
Well, Well, she's
Uh,
riding into a dead tree, so
I believe that Johnny Depp was right. He was making like
he was doing caricatures or
he was making
whatnot.
caricatures. Yes, he was drawing caricatures. Um, this is funny. Look at Locals. That face when you realize you left your moon bump at home. Again, folks, meganfox.locals.com, the best place to find memes and to find community of people who will keep you laughing all day long. That's us over there on Locals. Use my promo code Tonsil Twins, all caps, one word, Tonsil Twins. Get 2 free months when you sign up for an entire year. All right. Oh God, there's a GIF. You got to
Yeah.
be kidding me. Locals, you are killing me. I love you so much. I have to show this now. When the barista doesn't have the flavor of syrup I want, this woman's faces are epic. Laura, you should go into character acting, I think, because you could sell something with this face. You could really make a name for yourself on a commercial for something. What would we be selling with these facial expressions?
She's a better actor than Amber Heard.
She's an absolutely better actress than Amber Heard. Look at this. That is some fantastic facial expressions. I love it. All right. She's funny. She makes me laugh. Oh, okay. She could sell moon bumps.
Even you too can lie to a court and make it appear you're pregnant. I'll even sell you some positive pregnancy tests.
Oh, she could sell dating contracts. Of course, those are illegal. Please don't try to use them. They're not legal. I really wish she had been on The Bachelor. Me too, Melissa Ann. In fact, I personally think that ABC should seriously consider hiring her to be the Bachelorette.
Oh God.
And they should do it a special edition, a Bachelorette who can fix her. Right,
Oh, no.
Unhung Hero? I want to
Oh,
fix
no.
her. The Bachelorette, I want to fix her. I can't wait. There are a certain type of man who goes after women like this because they think they can fix her. And I want to see that fight on national television.
God, the legal fees of the amount of psychotherapy those men would need of having to deal with her.
Okay, if you're having trouble uploading photos to Locals, try closing out your app or browser and reopening and logging in again. Try that. Sometimes that fixes the problem. The Bachelorette, the unstable version.
Oh, no.
How about just unstabled? The double entendre is perfect. Unstabled. Laura Owens, unstabled. Maybe that should be the name of her best-selling novel after this.
Finding a baby daddy.
Bachelorette, fix her up her. Right? Unbridled is pretty good too. Oh my God. Oh, you guys, the chat, you kill me. You absolutely kill me. There are 620 of you here. Have you hit the like button yet? This is your public service announcement to remind you to please hit that like button so I don't have to shame you into it. You know you like this stream. You know you like the memes. So if you have not hit that like button, what are you waiting for? Are your fingers broken? Let's go, folks. Smash that like button. Smash it now the way Laura wants to smash The Bachelor. Please.
Don't make her start talking about hair because I'll start getting into it too.
I know Brad has had a hair epiphany, haven't you?
Yes. And it's because guys, you know, I never received fashion tips from my mom because she's not a fashion person. So now that we've got, so I message Megan and I'm like, have I been doing my hair care routine like terribly wrong my entire life? And she's like, well, yeah.
Yep. Yes, you have. Why, in fact, Brad, yes, you have been doing it wrong. You're not supposed to shampoo your hair every day. More Monster Energy drink, more notes. But what's funny, Brad, is that was actually on the shampoo bottle, which I don't think I've ever seen on the shampoo bottle, where it says only use 1 to 2 times a week.
Well, yeah, because it's funny because every shampoo bottle I've read just says, apply to wet hair, lather, and wash out, and then that's it. It doesn't say, oh, by the way, you're going to dry your effing skin off if you use this every single day. But
It's actually even better to find one with no sulfates, and then you don't have that problem. So if you find a sulfate-free shampoo, you can use it every day if you want to, because it won't dry out your hair. It's the sulfates and that soap that dries out your hair.
I'm pretty sure this is paraben and sulfate free.
Well, perfect. That's exactly what you want. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. We got off on a hair tangent. We said we weren't going to do that.
I haven't seen super chats. Have you seen super chats?
Well, that's true. I haven't seen any super chats lately. Maybe we should just keep going with the hair talk. I don't know. No, it's okay. We can continue. All right. Was someone in the chat just asked, where do you get all these hilarious people in your locals chat? Well, I'll tell you. From right here on YouTube and on Rumble. Those of you who have been watching this program for a while, I have one of the best chats on YouTube, and you guys are so funny. Really, I don't think there's a funnier chat on YouTube, and you guys really make this show. So just thank you very much to the chat for being so funny, as funny as you are. And Jingleberry says, we're the medium smarts. Sarah Adams, thanks for the super chat. Do you see me, BRAD? I think he does.
You know what the most annoying thing was? Back in high school, someone would call me B-Rad, and I was like, why are you all calling me B-Rad? It's like, it's from that movie. I'm like, what movie? It's like, how do you not know that movie?
Oh my God, I'm now going to call you IT Goatee B-Rad.
Oh God, please no.
It's happening. What movie is that? I've never seen it.
I still haven't seen it. That's the funny thing.
Do you know what it is?
Someone in chat's going to know it. We just got to wait for it to come through.
Okay, we'll just wait for it to come through. While we're waiting, we'll just play this.
Most Wanted, and that's what it was.
Oh, see, I've never seen that. B-Rad. You're now B-Rad. You're going to be B-Rad forever now. You should never have said that.
Well, shit.
Back to the hearing.
In November, the parties appeared in front of Judge Gail Ketsis, where mother had a pregnant belly and told Judge Gail Ketsis she was 100% pregnant by my client. Your Honor's not adjudicating that today, but I'm asking Your Honor to take back the protective order proceeding that was granted in my client's favor for purposes of not consolidation, to be heard concurrently for the purposes of attorney's fees and sanctions on that matter. Because if what counsel just said is that she was not pregnant at that time and she lied to Judge Gail Ketsis in that proceeding, then I think that's sanctionable and Your Honor could enter orders under that proceeding. So I'm asking Your Honor to take, not jurisdiction, but to hear that matter concurrently, or to have that file available for our upcoming evidentiary.
So that's interesting. That's something I'm going to have to ask an attorney about, because I'm not quite sure what he means by take that hearing back.
So I'm
assuming he means let's add it to the sanctionable offenses, because now with this admission, if she lied, which we think she did, then it's sanctionable.
Because it was a protective order hearing on a separate, well, not really a separate matter. It's considered separately from the from this entire case. Even though the protective order was issued, and it's considered tangential to this case, they said, go look at that, and because the evidence presented in that protective order hearing is can establish the fact pattern that's necessary to for sanctions, because it shows that if she had lied at that protective order hearing, then it invalidates the entire reason for the for continuing the motions, and her motions in this case saying that she's still pregnant up until the 28th. Because we haven't gotten
Okay.
to the point where the November 4th TPO hearing where she says I'm 100% pregnant to December 8th when they file the I'm no longer pregnant dismissal motion. There's 2 months of, you know, limbo period where she's supposedly not pregnant by her now omissions, but her claim to the court was that she was 100% pregnant.
Mm-hmm. Okay, makes sense. That makes sense. I want to see Laura's reaction to that. You know, she may have lied thing, because the chat says I was watching Zaddy Greg. I was not watching Laura. So let's watch her, because I think she had a reaction there.
Protective order proceeding that was granted in my client's favor for purposes of not consolidation, to be heard concurrently for the purposes of attorney's fees and sanctions on that matter. Because if what counsel just said is that she was not pregnant at that time and she lied to Judge Gail Katsas in that
What?
proceeding.
Can you say
What?
that?
Can you say what? Pay attention to me, Corey. Look at Corey not leaning in to hear what she's
He's
saying.
like, I really don't want to listen to you right now. I'm trying to focus on what he's saying.
And also, you're not supposed to be talking in court right now.
And I think that's sanctionable, and Your Honor could enter orders under that proceeding. So I'm asking Your Honor to take
Shaking her head.
She's like,
not
that's so
jurisdiction, but to
bullshit.
hear that matter concurrently, or to have that file available for our upcoming evidentiary hearing.
Response?
Your Honor, I would ask the court to deny that request. Spoken to experts in this case preemptively about this trial. The reality.
Patty cakes. Look at his shoulders. The man is defeated. Yeah, look at this. Look at the posture.
He's got weaker shoulders than Nick. Like, goddamn.
Holy shit. Look at this guy. Look, watch his body language. He's all hunched over, and you know what? His hands are also in his lap, protecting his junk, which is another protective
If I had Laura
posture.
Owens sitting next to me, I'd protect my junk too.
He's making sure that no crusty Corys get anywhere near her.
Back the protective order proceeding that was granted in my client's favor for purposes of not consolidation, to be heard concurrently for the purposes of attorney's fees and sanctions on that matter. Because if what counsel just said is that she was not pregnant at that time and she lied to Judge Gail Katsas in that proceeding, then I think that's sanctionable, and Your Honor could.
Twice.
Shaking her finger in his face too. Did you see that?
She's probably like, that's the second time that he said I've lied. He shouldn't be able to say that.
Time and she lied to Judge Gail Katsas in that proceeding, then I think that's sanctionable, and Your Honor could enter orders under that
Oh yeah, she pointed two fingers. She had two fingers up.
proceeding. So I'm asking Your Honor to take not jurisdiction, but to hear that matter concurrently, or to have that file available for our upcoming evidentiary hearing.
Response?
Your Honor, I would ask the court to deny that request. Spoken to experts in this case preemptively about this trial. The reality is sometimes people have miscarriages and they don't even know that they miscarried. I'm not saying that that is the circumstance here. I certainly.
What?
Yeah, this entire 4 minutes after this is such bullshit coming out of his mouth.
Bullshit.
Get ready.
You are fake news.
Wrong.
There is no way that you are miscarrying a 20 to 21 week fetuses, two fetuses with fully formed bodies. And please understand that a fetus is fully formed by 20 weeks. Fully formed. Arms, legs, head, the whole thing. Though that is not getting reabsorbed into the body, you have to push them out. If you have a stillbirth, and I'm sorry, this is very upsetting for people who have been through this process. And I acknowledge and understand that this conversation is very upsetting. And Laura Owens ought to acknowledge and understand that forcing us to have these conversations is very upsetting to people who've been through this. And I'm very sorry for those of you who have gone through this. I know my sister has had several miscarriages, and there wasn't one time that she didn't know what was happening, and they were much earlier than that.
So here's the even funnier thing. There's women who are so obese that they don't know they're pregnant, and for some reason they think that they have acid reflux for no reason, and that there might be a baby kicking them, and they suddenly expel a baby from the in the bathroom, and they're like, "Oh, I've been pregnant this entire time," and yet this woman who would have already started to feel, flutters and things like that, wouldn't have noticed that, oh, something is wrong. Like, I
It's absolute
remember,
bullshit. If she didn't know the babies died, that maybe I could understand, but you can't live for months at a time with dead fetuses inside you. You would get sepsis and die. She would be incredibly sick. So sick they would have to take her to an emergency room and do a procedure to remove the babies from her womb. Also, the babies would not be growing. If this happened, this alleged stillbirth, calling it a miscarriage really bothers me, because at that point it is not a miscarriage, it's a stillbirth. But if the babies died sometime between September and October, or in September or in October, there is no way that her belly is still growing to the October hearing and then this is ridiculous. And in I think in the article that I wrote, or maybe it was a video that I did or on the podcast, I had the dates of when she was still claiming to be pregnant, claiming to have this. In fact, here I've got clips on YouTube. I've got clips of her saying this. I mean, I feel gaslighted by this woman. I can't even tell you, Brad, how gaslighted I feel by this woman. Okay, here's a clip. Let's play this clip.
And how far along are you as we sit here today with respect to the pregnancy?
I am 24 weeks along.
This was 2 weeks ago.
This was November 4th. She said she was 24 weeks pregnant on November 4th.
Here's the reason why they're saying that up to a month or two prior she had lost the babies. Because if at this hearing at 24 weeks, if they can somehow find a way to say that at 5 weeks prior that they would not have had to have provided the fetal death certificates, because that would have been at 19 weeks and not 20. But you still have an entire set of facts that you have to try and get around, and you realize you haven't had a period in 4 months, and then now you have massive amounts of discharge coming out from you, and you're not going to the hospital immediately trying to figure out why.
It's absurd. Here she's saying on November 4th, she's 100% pregnant.
Do you have any prior testimony that you'd like to correct at this time?
I do not.
Her lawyer's like, ye gulp.
I want to make sure that you're clear-headed, and obviously it's your position that you are pregnant with alleged twins, correct?
100%. Yes, correct.
100%. Now wait, how is she 100% sure? Oh, that's interesting. She just saw her OBGYN on November 1st,
My
she says.
main OBGYN is the perinatologist, Dr. McCool.
And when is the last time, well, you said your main OBGYN. Who else are you seeing? What other pregnancy-related doctors are you seeing?
Dr. Higley, who I saw last Friday.
Last Friday. There is no way that she saw a pregnancy-related doctor on November 1st that examined her and did not see that she had 2 dead babies inside of her. So no, this is not, none of this is possible. None of it.
So what I need to do is I need to see if I can get in touch with my father's fiance. She's a maternal fetal specialist, and she's highly regarded in the field. She was the director of the nursing school in Virginia Beach, and now she's
Wonderful.
working private practice out in California.
You should show her this testimony and see. Now the chat is asking me to go see what she says about this testimony, Brad, because I would be very interested to hear her opinion of this ridiculous explanation. Chat says I need to go back and listen to him say this and watch Zaddy Greg's face.
Spoken to experts in this case preemptively about this trial. The reality is sometimes people have miscarriages and they don't even know that they miscarried. That I'm not saying that that is the circumstance.
His head, he goes, what? No, and you want me to look at Greg Gillespie's face too. Well, Zaddy Greg's face was hilarious. Let's watch Greg Gillespie now. Black t-shirt.
Then I think that's sanctionable, and Your Honor could enter orders under that proceeding. So I'm asking Your Honor to take not jurisdiction, but to hear that matter concurrently, or to have that file available for our upcoming evidentiary hearing.
Response?
Your Honor, I would ask the court to deny that request. Spoken to experts in this case preemptively about this trial. The reality is sometimes people have miscarriages and they don't even know that they miscarried. That I'm not saying that that is the circumstance here. I certainly wasn't present.
It looks like he said something like, "What the fuck?"
Did this asshole just stand up and say that?
Saying that my client has not lied in this case. She has not intentionally lied to the court. Whether or not she was.
Now he's laughing. Now is he trying to stifle a snicker?
There's more than a snicker there.
Pregnant on that date, I think she could have testified that she was pregnant and she could have had a miscarriage days prior. I don't know, but I believe that the testimony in her deposition, the testimony in her final trial, and the expert testimony that will come with it will make those things clear. I believe it'd be absolutely inappropriate to throw out previous proceedings in this case based on.
He's smiling. He's smiling.
Oh yeah.
My statement, not even my client's statement. There would need to be an evidentiary hearing in order for that to be proper.
But I think that's what he's asking. He's asking that.
Why does Clayton look like he has a Hitler mustache right now?
It could just be
A
larger
shadow?
nose and a shadow.
He's not growing a Hitler mustache, is he? I would
don't think so.
recommend against that. I would. Don't do it, Clayton. The mullet is far enough.
Evidentiary hearing be wrapped into this.
And Your Honor, that's not appropriate. The evidentiary hearing has already been done. And like I said, my client's statements that were made during that hearing were.
Face hugger got her. That's the answer.
Wouldn't that be a great defense if she shows up at trial and is like, the CIA implanted me with alien twins
Through my mouth.
and made me believe that they were Clayton Echards. Stop giving her ideas.
Were true to the best of her knowledge. The reality here is some.
Look at Greg Woodnick's face and look at Greg Gillespie. He's still like chuckling. Well, listen to this.
Statements that were made during that hearing were true to the best of her knowledge.
True to the best of her knowledge.
We already know she's not the brightest bulb in the box, but
Sabine says, wait, the alien thing checks out. Well, we know that the government's been hiding the existence of aliens from us for a long time.
so
She could really play this to her advantage.
So here's the weird thing that came to my mind. So she says her main OBGYN is this Carmut guy or whatever.
Dr. McCool.
Or McCool. So then she says she saw this other guy,
Higley.
But if Higley's not her general OB who's been monitoring the pregnancy, and she's like just a general practitioner who she's going to about acid reflux or whatever.
No, he's an obstetrics guy. Here he is. Jeffrey Blake Higley, women's care. Dr. Higley is an OBGYN in Mesa. He better watch out. He looks like her type, by the way. He's an OBGYN in Mesa, Arizona. That's not far from Scottsdale, by the way. He's an obstetrician gynecologist specializing in comprehensive obstetrics and gynecology in Phoenix. Oh, so he's in Phoenix too. Okay. Mesa
he
and
treats
Phoenix.
in reproductive health, pregnancy, and childbirth.
Yeah.
Oof.
So he is an OBGYN. There's no way that a pregnant woman walks into his office with a high risk pregnancy with twins. She says she has epilepsy. She would be high risk with her age alone, but you add the epilepsy. There's no way that an OBGYN is letting a woman like that walk out of his office without getting at least a fetal heart rate. No way. No freaking way. Sorry, but no way. I don't believe she actually saw any of. Oh, good God, Chester's foppery. Oh my God. Oh yeah, Dr. McCool. So let's look up Dr. McCool too. And it's possible that she saw Higley because Dr. McCool wasn't available or something. I don't actually even think she saw any of these people. I think she just found I think she made appointments and probably didn't go or went once or twice. Like I don't think.
Oh dang.
What?
Sheila says that McCool is a perinatal specialist. Once you transfer care to him, you no longer see anyone else. She's had 2 pregnancies in his office, and you discontinue care with anyone else until post-pregnancy. That's
interesting.
Very interesting.
But now, wait a minute. Does Higley work with him, though? Maybe Higley's one of the doctors in his practice?
So our OB office, when we had our son, they had like a rotating staff. You wouldn't see the same OB week to week, but you basically got whichever doctor was on call that week.
Okay, here are his doctors: Carrie Francois, Kathleen Harris, Joshua McCool, Bethany King, and Colleen Abrams. No
Different
Higley.
offices.
Different offices. So that's out. They're not in the same office. So Higley does not appear to be associated with Dr. McCool. I've heard on Reddit from people who are actually patients of Dr. McCool's who have said like similar things.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have a pool going as to when Corey withdraws? No, I don't think we do, but that does sound like fun. That sounds like something we should have. So, maybe start that. Maybe we need like a squares. Squares.
Oh my God.
Like football squares.
Yes. That's terrifying.
Oh God. Sweet Jesus, what have you done, locals chat? I am not putting that up. We are not trying to alienate poor Mr. Jenkins from the AZ Central.
What is that?
Because I said he was a curly girl like me.
Oh no.
Getting back to the hearing.
The reality here is sometimes women believe that they're still pregnant when they've had a miscarriage, and they don't know until they go to the doctor that their levels are no longer appropriate for a pregnant woman. I do believe
that assumes that they've done a blood test.
Timing wise, I don't know if any of us will ever be able to tell exactly when that miscarriage took place. But
and why do you believe that, sir? Why do you believe that none of us will ever be able to tell when that miscarriage took place? Is it because it didn't take place? Because it didn't exist? And this whole thing is a damn lie? Is that why?
Yeah. This is not going well.
Look at his body language too. Let's watch that again, please, because watch the shrugging and how uncomfortable he seems. Like I was looking at Greg Gillespie, but now really look at Corey. Watch Corey.
My statement, not even my client's statement, there would need to be an evidentiary hearing in order for that to be proper.
But I think that's what he's asking. He's asking that the evidentiary hearing be wrapped into this.
And Your Honor, that's not appropriate. The evidentiary hearing has already been done. And like I said, my client's statements that were made during that hearing were true to the best of her knowledge. The reality here is sometimes women believe that they're still pregnant when they've had a miscarriage, and they don't know until they go to the doctor that their levels are no longer appropriate for a pregnant woman. I do believe that is what occurred in this case. Timing wise, I don't know if any of us will ever be able to tell exactly.
That part right there. He's reaching so hard. He's reaching. Oh, Corey, give up now. Look, watch this shoulder shrug.
But in this case, timing wise, I don't know if any of us will ever be able to tell exactly when that.
This is like when my kids come to me and they're trying to spin a yarn about something. But we might never know what happened to that homework assignment. None of us may ever. may ever find out what
It just
happened
blew off in the wind,
to
and
the
I
note
watched it flying away.
that the teacher sent home about my bad behavior. We may never find out what happened, Mom.
Introducing phone apps for parents and teachers is the best thing that's ever happened in establishing the lies of
Right? Yeah, I know. And teachers with cell phones who take pictures of things, like
yeah.
seriously, like it's on film, dude. Don't even try. I've got black and whites that show what happened today on your I see what you've done. Do not try it. Man, this body language is something. Oh my gosh.
Then he's still got a hand in his pocket too.
I know. He's got one hand in his pocket. I mean, is it protective? Is that like a protective gesture?
Timing wise, I don't know if
There's
any of
one
us
reason.
will ever be able to tell exactly when that miscarriage took place. But I do know that my client from our conversations did testify truthfully, and there
I do know from my client, from our conversations, that she did testify truthfully. Corey, how do you know? Because she told you so? From your conversations with her? Sir, you're going to
Like-
need to provide more evidence than that.
Like she told Clayton that she was pregnant.
Like she told Clayton 5 days after the blowjobs that she might be pregnant because she's extremely fertile and she had a fertility clinic come in. Like that time? Come on. Come on. Oh, I missed a bunch of super chats, didn't I? Cynthia, thanks for the $5, says Kurt really wants to be a dad. Just saying, can we match make? I don't think she fits his standards. She's too old for him, from what I hear. I think he wants someone between the ages of 18 and 20 something. High standards he has there for a guy who has not been married for ever. But you know, maybe it'll work out for him. I don't know. Patty cakes. I've been through it, Megan. Miscarriage, and this woman is committing violence against my experience. Press on. She is complete bullshit. Patty cakes, can I just say on behalf of this woman who will never apologize to you, how sorry I am that you have to listen to this? Because I feel, you know, I have loved ones who have also been through miscarriages, and it's a really traumatic thing. And to have someone appropriating your experience, really, because that's what this is every bit as offensive as blackface. Let's just admit that right now. Like, this is offensive, what's happening here. And I don't like it, and it needs to stop. Brianne Wilson, thanks to the super chat, said, as RS said, Laura spitted on all of our faces.
She's a swallower, not a spitter.
Rogue mama. Thanks for the super chat, says it's a damn miscarriage of justice is what it is. Yeah. Yep. Laura swallows horse pills. Said Laura wishes Dr. McCool was doing her cervix check. It's very possible. Although I think Higley looks like more her type than McCool.
Higley definitely looks better of the two. Yeah.
Looks like more of her. She likes the big strapping ones. Cass says, be careful, spit gets her pregnant. This is true. Oh my goodness. Is Corey really trying to use his conversations with his client as evidence? Yeah, sounds like it. He's trying to convince the judge that the conversations he had with his client convinced him that she's telling the truth. Oh,
that's
Corey,
the fine
you're
line
so
he's got to
much
run, is that he cannot know if she was truly pregnant or not. He can only get the evidence that she provides, because if he knows and tries to tell this court that she was claiming to be pregnant but actually wasn't, he's going to be disbarred. That's the problem. So it's just going to be
Well,
rough.
I don't know how at this point he could not know, because of the evidence that is freely available on Reddit that he should have looked into. He should be smart enough. I think he's probably more than medium smart. He should be smart enough to figure out what the rest of us have figured out. And he's in a bad position. I get that he's in a bad position, but he got himself into it. Paranoia, thanks to the super chat, says, I'm sure he's holding his balls through the pockets. Well, Laura swallows horse pills, says, Laura is the Rachel Dolezal of miscarriages. Yep. Yep. And that didn't go well for Rachel, and it should go equally poorly for Laura Owens as well. All right, moving on.
There were not misstatements that were made there. We're certainly not intending to change her testimony. But like I said, we have spoken to experts that have identified that sort of occurrence does sometimes happen.
Follow-up question to his.
What? I'm not sure that that's what occurred in this case, but we do have experts to testify that that can happen. What does that have to do with her, with your case, Corey? We need to talk about Laura, not what happens to other women, but what happened to Laura.
Yeah, that's the problem, is that they want to bring in experts to say that this thing possibly could happen, but also say that we were claiming to be pregnant at the time. So because we were under the well understood belief that we were pregnant at the time, that it was not a lie.
This is crazy. Thanks for the super sticker, Spy Gal. Appreciate that very much. This is crazy. I can't wait to see what kind of experts. What? Brad is broken. Who broke Brad?
I'm not doing it for no reason. That's the funny thing.
Don't break Brad. We need him to chat.
We've got a 19-page document we want to read still. We're not even through
I know
this.
we still have a 19-page document we missed that has some spicy stuff in it. I may have to go get some popcorn. I need a snack. I didn't eat my dinner tonight. Maybe I should get a plate of dinner.
Comments. Counsel, are you asking that I revisit the order against harassment or just for purposes of fees and costs?
Just for purposes of fees and costs, because the order was appropriate that Judge Galkatzis entered. However, she did not order fees and costs. I would contend that if she knew what we think the evidence will show, which was that Miss Owens just lied and said she was 24 weeks
There
pregnant.
she goes again. There she goes again. She's coming out of her seat. Look at.
Twins, and then apparently had a miscarriage.
Corey not leaning in to hear her.
Apparently 2 months earlier. That had she.
She's
I'm paying you
him.
good money. You better go get him.
You better object. Object, you fool. Object. Defend my honor. Wait, we gotta go back. We have to go back and see that again.
24 weeks pregnant with twins, and then apparently had a miscarriage apparently 2 months earlier. That had she, if any of that is true, that had she known that that was her testimony at the time, she would have ordered attorney's fees in Mr. Echard's favor. And I'd like that to be on the table at the evidentiary hearing.
And that's it.
Man.
That is the end of the portion that AZ Central aired. And I would like to personally thank them. I would like to thank Arizona Central and USA Today and Jimmy Jenkins for putting even that portion up online for us to see. Thank you so much, Mainstream Press, for taking an interest in this story. All right. What do we have now? We've got a 19.
We don't know what the judge said. When we get the full video, we'll certainly be covering all of it. And God, I'm going to have to buy alcohol or something, because
we are definitely going to watch the entire hearing. There's got to be more great stuff in there. I mean, I don't know why they didn't just post the entire thing. They obviously have it because they had it to edit. If you're posting
an 8-minute video, it wasn't a very long hearing. What I remember, it was like 20 minutes. So if you're going to post 8 minutes, just post the whole thing.
Post the whole thing. There had to have been more. I want to hear what else the judge said and how she said it, because there was a moment where she made her sign that HIPAA agreement in front of her. I would love to see that part, so I can't wait.
40 minutes.
Yeah, maybe they had like a website issue, like where they needed it to be shorter. I guess that's always a problem. It could be a problem. Man. But that was great. Okay, so now we're going to go over to something that Jimmy Jenkins found in the records that I missed. So good for you, Jimmy. You're not only into this case, but you're getting into things that I didn't even see. So, and that's hard to do sometimes because I get pretty obsessive over these things, and I check. So I've got a document here. Where the hell did it go? I just shared it somewhere.
I don't have the document. I've got the screen captures.
No, I've got the document here. I had it open. Oh yeah, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Okay, let's open this.
I hate this stupid legal format
I know.
with like 2-inch margins and
I know. It is what it is, Brad. And that's not working. Okay.
no, you want to get rid of that details panel.
Okay. Shit.
Whoops.
Damn it. Why did that happen? Oh no. Are you kidding me?
No,
Hold
just
on.
click download and
No, it's gone. In the time that we sat there and did this, it seriously got taken off. You got to be kidding me.
no.
Uh-huh.
Can you send me that? Put it in the private chat.
Uh-huh. Wait, I got it back, but I
Oh.
can't screw with it. But here, I'm going to give it to you so you can maybe figure it out. But it says that my connection to the box cloud is being blocked.
Weird. Okay.
Okay, but
Download.
it looks like I can see it. So hold on, let's share this again.
I've got it
And I'm
back.
just not going to mess with it.
I've got it.
Oh, you do? Okay. I don't know how to get rid of this thing on the side. Do you have it where it
I-
doesn't have that thing?
Let me just close my tax return because I don't want that out.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that.
All right. Present, share,
Okay.
window here. Boom. Ta-da. And
Okay.
majorly embiggened.
All right, wonderful. All right. Respondent Clayton Echard, buying through counsel, hereby requests that this court set an expedited 30-minute virtual status conference. Now, this is the motion for the hearing we just watched. And the reason we're reading it is because there's a bunch of stuff in it that I didn't see. There's stuff we haven't seen yet. This motion is expedited as trial is currently scheduled for the end of February, and myriad pretrial issues must be addressed prior to the scheduled evidentiary hearing, including addressing the motion to continue additional trial time. Petitioner has grossly exploited the judicial process by refusing to comply with the rules and legal process that she invoked when she initiated the underlying petition. To date, petitioner has willfully and wantonly refused to provide any Rule 49 disclosure, respond to any request for production, and failed to attend a properly noticed deposition. Simultaneously, petitioner filed a motion for confidentiality and preliminary protective order, filed 1/18/2024, to seemingly shield herself from any further criticism for her non-compliance and deposed respondent when she refused to participate in the same. Petitioner's perpetual disregard for court rules is exhausting. Yes. Yes, it is. It is exhausting. That is exactly the right word. I feel exhausted by this woman. Anybody else? Am I the only one?
I don't know. I'm kind of getting a adrenaline high going through all this stuff.
You know, I read what she files, and this is what I want to say.
Right to jail, right away.
Right to jail, Laura.
Ooh, got a couple super chats.
Oh, okay. Let's head over there. We'll take care of that. Kathy Trout, thanks for the super chat, says, late again. Did I miss the hair tutorial? Why, yes, you did. You missed it. Brad had some hair revelations. Here for the truth. Thanks to the super chat, says Corey, I told you to color in your paper pad. Chris Jenner, thanks to the super chat, says, I think Laura pretends to be more wealthy than she is in an attempt to garner the image of more power in the eyes of her victims. With that being said, is this guy really the best she could afford? I think he's the one who would accept the case. And with only 4 years experience, I think we kind of know why.
I think it's also what Daddy is affording, because there's no way that being a podcaster and part-time horse salesman
dealer. She's a horse dealer. She's a look at, I've got a gray streak. Look at this. I've got a gray streak. Just whoops.
Oop.
No, that's not what I meant to do. I've got a gray streak here
Oh my
that is
goodness.
exactly like the wicked stepmother in Cinderella.
Right?
Look at this. I mean, This is Disney villain-esque here. I have got to get these grays taken care of. They're taking over. I mean,
They were not that bad not 2 days ago.
I know. It's like I'm going gray. Laura Owens is making me go gray. It's a stripe, isn't it? But it's not just on, although it's quite large right here. So it is kind of like a skunk stripe, I guess. What did MG Law say? I missed that. Love as an attorney when I can use strong language like that in a brief. Isn't this fantastic, MG Law? If you're bored and want to pop in here, you're more than welcome to.
It's late enough.
Yeah, it's late enough for you. Do you want to get in here? You're welcome to. I'll send you a thing on Twitter. I'll just send you a link if you want to pop in. Come on in. Flux, I'll send you one too. You want to get in here? You want to get in on this?
She was spending some alone time with Mrs. Flux because of her schedule change. So
hers. Oh, gotcha.
Oh, MG's about to stream. Yeah.
Oh, he's about to stream. Okay, never mind. I won't send you a link then.
Ooh.
Oh, you can. He said he can join for a few minutes. Okay, perfect. Here you go. Get in here.
Well, we're waiting.
We're waiting. Silver Megan Fox. Yeah. I don't like it though. People are like, embrace it. I'm like, no thanks. No thanks. I'm not ready for that. I'm young still. I have a young child. I cannot have gray hair. I don't want to look like a grandma before I'm actually a grandma.
You don't want to be Glenn Close in the Dalmatians?
No. I don't want to look like a Disney villain before I'm ready to look like a Disney villain. And that's just not today. So I'm going to go get this taken care of at some point soon. And when I say at some point soon, I mean probably another month. Because I don't care about it that much, or I would have already done it. I am a procrastinator by nature. There he is.
Ta-da.
Ta-da. Hey. How you doing? This is a fun one.
Yeah.
This is a fun one. All right, where were we? Respondents.
Exhausting. Yeah.
Exhausting. Her perpetual disregard for court rules is exhausting. Respondents' expedited motion to continue trial and motion for additional trial time, filed 2/6/2024, is pending before the court. Consistent with her historical disregard for court process, petitioner failed to respond to the email inquiry asking her position on the same and has still not done so. While due process requires the court to grant the continuance and provide for additional trial presentation time for the reasons detailed in the still unopposed motion, there is an urgency for a status conference to be held prior to this eventual hearing date. The antics from petitioner continue to proliferate.
It had to be fun to write. It had to be fun to write.
So good. So good. And it is clear from the communication as appended that petitioner's most recently retained counsel, approximately the 12th in this series of cases, is having challenges with client control. Is having challenges with client control.
Just seeing her at the table is we knew that she's starting to like boss him around.
Did you see that? Were you
like counsel's gonna withdraw? Be like, I'm sorry, it's not me, it's you.
Were you in the chat? Were you watching MG when she was leaning
I just
over
sat
to him?
down at the computer.
Oh man.
She was literally shaking her finger. Wait, we have to show him his body language. We have to. I'm sorry. Yeah. Chat, we have to go back to the hearing. Where the hell is the hearing? Here it is. No, that's not it. Oh, did I close it already? Oh, that's okay. It's in the private chat. Okay, perfect. Okay, here we go. All right, you've got to see this part. Wait.
Which was that Miss Owens just lied and said she was 24 weeks pregnant with twins, and then apparently had a miscarriage apparently 2 months earlier. That had she
look at how he knows she's talking to him, but he's ignoring her until she literally starts tapping him. And look at his body language. He's got his
just
slumped
like, "Oh, God."
shoulders. What do you,
He's like, what did I
What
get
do you-
into?
Well, there's that one, and then for like half of this hearing, we think, because this is only 8 minutes of a 40-minute status hearing, he's sitting down and addressing the judge, or when he's standing, he's got his hands in his pocket, his shoulders are completely drooped. He's
Yeah.
what does this say to you, MG, when you see the body language like this
But
between
that
a
right
lawyer?
there, he's really wondering why the hell he got involved in this case.
Lied.
Look
I mean,
at
that-
this.
I mean, you're
24
just.
weeks pregnant.
you're
I would
toast.
contend that
Please.
if she knew,
Wait, let's turn off the volume and just watch the body language. Because his body language is so, he got real
He's like, "Oh,
uncomfortable right
God."
there. Oh God, here it comes.
Yeah,
She lied.
he's like, "Oh no."
evidence that she lied. How do you... He cannot stand there and say that I lied.
Do you tell him?
Do you know how much I'm paying you? You need to
He's like, "Yeah,
defend me.
yeah."
Look, right in your notebook,
Then he's telling her
Laura.
to be quiet because the microphone's on.
And he's telling her, I told you to scribble
There's a
in the
live
notebook.
mic on the table.
If you want to show me, if you want to tell me something, you look at him pointing at the notebook. Look at
No,
him.
he's pointing at the microphone because she's like starts talking to him. He's like touching the microphone, telling to
Yeah.
mute it. I think
I thought he
This
was
thing is
tapping the
green. You
notebook.
do not talk.
it
I
looks
thought he
like.
was- Oh,
I think
yeah,
he's pointing at the microphone because it'll
The
have a green light
microphone.
on it when it's active, and you could the court reporter it will pick up everything.
Oh God.
So you can't whisper with those things. on.
Elephant says he needs to blink twice if he's being held captive. So now that you've gotten a taste of the body
Oh my
language here,
God.
it's pretty funny, isn't it?
I should
Pretty
probably share.
funny. Okay, you can bring it back up, the filing back up. While due process requires the court to grant the continuance and provide for additional trial presentation time for the reasons detailed in the still unopposed motion, there is an urgency for status conference to be held prior to this eventual hearing
Mhm.
date. The antics from petitioner continue to proliferate, and it is clear from the communication as appended that petitioner's most recently retained counsel, approximately the 12th in this series of cases,
Yeah.
is having challenges with client control that impact respondents' ability to access requisite disclosure. As for his expedited motion to set virtual status conference, respondent states as follows. On August 1st, petitioner initiated the underlying action when she filed her petition to establish paternity, legal decision-making, parenting time, and child support, alleging she was pregnant with respondent's twins after only oral sex, underlined. Respondent has consistently maintained that this alleged pregnancy was entirely fraudulent and that oral sex does not result in babies. Thank you, Zaddy Greg, for the biology lesson that we all need to hear, apparently.
So the one thing about this line at 18, Dave Neal posted this morning about how she's going back and editing her Medium blogs to remove certain
Ooh.
things.
Mm-hmm.
So
She did.
Has anybody saved them?
Oh yeah, we have them.
There's,
Good.
Oh,
there's
I wrote an
images
article
saved.
about them on PJ Media, and you can see exactly what was edited right here. I'll show you on the Seeking Justice for Clayton Twitter page. Plus, I have the original archived as well.
Yeah.
But here is what she changed. So let me show you this. Okay, my integrity. So this is the original. My integrity is everything to me. I have never lied about being. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Is this the original or is this the
No,
original? This is the
that's
original. Right here. This one. My integrity means everything to me. I've never lied about being pregnant, nor the extent to which I've been abused, and I have medical records to back up both of those things. However, I won't be sharing updates regarding the status of my pregnancy with Clayton. I kindly ask not to receive congratulations or engage in discussions about Clayton and my pregnancy. Now,
She was never pregnant.
here's the edited version. She cut that completely out. I will not be sharing updates about my pregnancy. See this? It's gone. This whole part. I kindly ask not to receive
Yeah.
congratulations or engage in discussions about my pregnancy. So she's trying to literally rewriting history as we speak. So, yeah. Petitioner's blatant refusal to provide any disclosure or engage in discovery must be addressed prior to the evidentiary hearing. During the nearly 7 months since initiating this action, petitioner's only evidence provided in support of her alleged pregnancy has consisted of faked sonograms and positive HCG tests. There is a history of the same in the Gillespie case. No medically verifiable proof of pregnancy that would satisfy the requirements of Rule 2, which petitioner herself invoked, has been provided, likely because no such proof exists. See also respondent's reply to petitioner's response to motion for sanctions pursuant to Rule 26, explaining that a positive HCG test is merely a sign of pregnancy and false positives can be caused by medications, not mediations, medications such as those associated with epilepsy and infertility. Pregnancy cannot be caused by mediations. Petitioner has provided no disclosure and continues to flout the rules of the court she invoked. Instead of providing basic discovery, she has filed bar complaints, board complaints, and sued journalists who have covered the story that she reported and with whom she actively communicates. Meanwhile, respondent has complied with all requests for disclosure as required by the rules and requested by petitioner. More offensively, oh, I like this. I'm going to start sentences with more offensively. That's good. More offensively, petitioner has alluded to having the records respondent requested multiple times, but has refused to provide under the guise of protection from public scrutiny. Parenthetically, while claiming she needs protection, petitioner continues to reach out to media and self-publish 2 more Medium.com articles on 2-9 and 2-10, Exhibit 1. To be very clear, petitioner is claiming she cannot disclose records to respondent, but as recently as days ago, is publishing apocryphal articles about the situation. Notably, during respondent's video deposition on 2/2/2024, petitioner's counsel presented a highly redacted, plus 80% of words blacked out copy of a medical record purportedly containing
80%.
proof of it's like the CIA gave it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it might be the CIA document.
We were
That's-
talking.
It might be the CIA document that said they impregnated her with alien twins.
Yeah, the mouth huggers got a hold of her and impregnated her.
Holy shit, it actually might be the CIA document. You know how they redact stuff? It's like just
Yes.
a giant black
A whole
square.
page.
You know what? We are I think we're coming to the heart of the matter. We're getting to the truth. I think Laura Owens was impregnated by aliens from outer space, and the
Ovipositor
CIA
down her throat.
the CIA is covering it up. This is clearly what happened here.
Well, she was a thugger, though. That's
When
right,
res-
Vices. She was the mouth hugger.
when respondent's counsel asked to see the unredacted document, not to make copies or otherwise distribute, only view it in person to verify it actually existed, petitioner refused. So Corey just lied in the hearing when he said he offered to show him the documentation in his office, and he said he wouldn't come in. Greg's story is he said he would come in, but they wouldn't show him the unredacted copies.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, the CIA story sounds more believable. It does, doesn't it?
Right.
I just came up with a more believable story for Laura Owens than the one she came up with. Alien tonsil twins. We could believe that. Aliens from Uranus. Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Legal Vices is
Legal
checking
Vices
in.
is, I can't
Yeah.
believe you're here. He's
Did he
had
get
no
any
sleep. None. Zero.
He's at work right now, though, right?
He's at
He
work.
must be. Yeah. But he
Yeah.
was
He
up
just
all night.
covered the Hannah Gutierrez case all stinking night long for you people.
Yeah.
I hope you appreciate him and go subscribe to
Yeah.
his
He
channel.
got no sleep.
Zero sleep. This man is a monster. He's on zero sleep and he's at work. Why do we not have a bingo card tonight? Ask locals. They fell down on the job. I don't know what to
Yeah,
tell you.
Slackers.
Slackers. They fell down on the job, the blow job, one might say. There goes the blow job jokes that we could have had in the free square.
They blew it.
They blew it. They really blew it. I know it's hard to swallow, but they fell down on the job. Oh God. All right.
They're just spitting on us now.
Oh my God, locals! Do you hear
No,
me?
apparently
talking
there's no
about you?
live chat on locals.
No, there's a live chat.
No,
Just,
it's the Thursday live chat. It's not the stream live chat.
right. It's we made it a members only Thursday, like daily live chat, so that it can't be accessed by anyone who's not a member, just in case we have visitors, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this refusal, where am I?
Yeah, this
Where did I
refusal
go?
allows
This refusal to allow respondents' counsel to view a document ostensibly central to the foundation of this case only further exhibits petitioner's sanctionable conduct and wholesale inability to support the fiction of her alleged pregnancy. Damn, sir. Damn. Right? Petitioner claiming that she had access to verifiable medical records to support her allegations of pregnancy, but then refusing to make them available for respondents' inspection is a blatant act of disrespect to the court and the judicial process.
Yeah, I hope the court sanctions the hell out of her.
damage.
What'd you say, MG?
I said I hope this court sanctions the hell out of her. I mean,
they really
there's no
should.
excuse. I mean, discovery violations. I mean, they could enter default judgment against her.
So
I mean,
far,
they did it to Alex Jones. They did it to,
so
done it
far,
to
the
Trump.
judge actually denied the motions for contempt on both sides.
Seriously.
Yeah, and I really think that was not okay, because I feel like she really needs to have a consequence, and I don't know, maybe the judge is just waiting for the trial before she does this, but I don't know why she would deny the motion for contempt. This woman is contemptible if I've ever seen it.
I want to know how
renew it. File a new one.
File a new one. Yeah.
They really think they're going to be able to get all of this case down to 2 hours. I really think that it's going to take a lot longer than that.
I know. I would love to see like a full week, a 5-day trial on this. That's how much evidence
she hasn't
there is.
produced any discovery, so I don't see how any of it could come in at the hearing. You can't just sit on it when it's been requested. So the judge should keep it. You fail to comply with discovery rules, you don't get to present it at trial.
So supposedly the judge made her sign a HIPAA release statement, so they could take that
in front of the judge,
the to the physicians that was supposedly seeing her, to request all of the documents for her care, and then do a minimal amount of redactions as needed, and then that would be what they need.
There shouldn't be any redactions on what is presented. What is produced to counsel, what's presented to court may need redacting.
Right.
For disability purposes, but what they present what they produce should be unredacted completely.
Right.
What they produce to the defense.
To counsel, yeah.
And by the way, MG, the judge also ruled, you missed this part, but the judge ruled that she wasn't going to seal the records, but she ruled that no medical records or any exhibits can be publicly available anymore. Don't you think that's a little overbroad? Because I can understand medical records not being, I can understand redacting those.
But no exhibits at all?
But no exhibits at all? Yeah, that's what she said. No exhibits.
Well, so the context here is that Laura Owens' counsel is saying that all of her information is being shared publicly to the media. And
but it's only things that are in public. Anyway. But it's all public record.
Yes, it's all public record. And because all of these motions have been before any trial has occurred, they're just filing motions and including all of their evidence in it.
Yeah.
So
all right. Yeah, and that is absolutely not something that shouldn't be shared. I don't understand a judge saying no exhibits. And she shared it. Like she put a bunch of
she's the one that so I remember she's the one that had the information in her motions.
Yeah, she had the information in her motions and she never asked the clerk to redact any of it. I don't understand.
See that. I've had people on the other side file stuff with personal information like, oh dude, really? You didn't Come on, redact your stuff, please.
Right,
There are
redact your
court
stuff.
rules on that.
Free Megan making blowjob joke square is filled in. Megan's unhinged cackle. We definitely had some of that tonight. Megan has tech problems, not quite yet. Megan is
Dave
broken.
Neal appearance.
Dave Neal appearance. We did have that. Mentions of previous victims. We definitely had that. Owens' lawyer gets wrecked.
Yeah,
I think we
been
saw
pretty
that.
wrecked.
Tonsil twins. Yes. Deposition no show. We got bingo already.
We got a bingo already.
We might even get a full card though.
Awesome.
My own personal threat letter. Nope. Still Mark Safe. Mark Safe from Laura Owens' personal threat letter. Self-serving news articles. Yep. We've got Medium articles.
Yep.
Bamboozled court and judge. I don't know. Not today. Not today. We haven't
Not
had
yet.
fake crying. We didn't have any of that today. Oh, we did not have that. Mouth babies.
Oh no, we did have it because we had your thumbnail.
Oh, you're right. I forgot about that. Podcast mention that
Yep.
happened. Defamation. I don't think we mentioned
No
defamation yet.
No.
Cluster B disorder. Uncomfortable text messages. Not yet. Crusty dry humping. We did mention that. Inappropriate parental involvement. Not yet. We haven't got there yet. Cease and desist. Nope. Poorly written legal documents. We haven't looked those over yet.
This is
This
a,
one is a
very
good one. Pearl necklace. Oh God. Now, if this said Brad was broken, we would have had that one too. But okay, I think we're caught up.
The dentist comment I think broke you pretty good.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Okay, we'll give me that one. All right, I think we're all caught up on the bingo now.
I'm gonna have to duck out though. I've got.
Yep.
It's 11
all right,
o'clock
see
now.
ya,
So.
MG.
Thanks. It's always fun to be on. I am streaming Saturday night. I'm doing a 1-year anniversary stream. You're invited.
Oh, cool.
So I'll send you an invite for that.
All right, and I'll redirect everybody. So. I'll redirect everybody afterwards.
Awesome.
And
yeah, we're still going over that Alaska, the Brian Smith case.
Are there any updates?
Murders.
There was a verdict today, wasn't there?
I don't know. I haven't. I'm not on the same day. I'm a couple of days behind.
All right, I won't ruin it for you. It's exactly what you would expect.
A couple of days behind. Yeah, sure. He's done all but admit to doing it. He really even did admit in his police interrogation.
My favorite part in his police interrogation was, all right, well, there was a body in the back of my truck, but I didn't put it there.
I didn't put it there. And he took pictures of it, there. I think almost like he's in the picture, he's taking pictures of his body and then drives it and takes it home to his house. And then a couple of days later drives it and disposes of it. It doesn't notify the police or anything that, hey, there's a random body in the back of my truck.
Yeah, if you guys don't know this case, this is the Alaska murders of the 2 indigenous women who are prostitutes and addicts who are not getting any coverage in the media. So God bless you, MG Law, for covering this case, because they do deserve these victims do deserve justice, and they deserve to have people know about them and that their lives mattered. So I appreciate that you're doing this. They're doing the job the media should be doing.
There's no telling how many more victims there are.
Oh, I think this guy is literally Alaska's Ted Bundy.
If not Washington and Virginia and South
Africa.
I mean,
yeah.
It's he's too organized and
Zoe,
the planning that went into it. It wasn't just some random act. I mean, it wasn't. He had planned this out.
And Zoe, there is no Court TV live stream of it. It's coming through a local station in Alaska, and Court TV really hasn't picked it up.
They've covered it some, but they don't keep it on the website. So on their channel, they get rid of it every day. So
it's awful.
If they don't have it, then it says Sheezy Wisnut's been having to go to the Zoom link or is able to get it from Court TV, but he has to get it live because they're not keeping it.
Yeah, it's really bad. And whoever is running the court feed are not paying attention to when it goes down, and it'll be down for 20-30 minutes in the middle of the trial and before it comes back up. It's shameful. It's shameful. So MG Law is going to be covering that. I will redirect you guys all over there when we're finished here. So go and watch him over there, because this trial is really important and it's very shocking.
Hopefully I'll catch up to it. I'm not following the verdict. I know we were planning on having, I think we knew they were going to get to closing arguments and deliberations today, but it's one of those where I have to stream at night and I stream late at night.
Right. Yeah,
So I can't-
MG's channel is MG Law, no spaces. MG Law. And if one of the mods is here, you can drop that link in the chat. That would be great. Or Brad,
when you search for it, it will have this icon for my channel. So
yeah,
that'll be the avatar on it. So
no space. That's important when
no
you
space.
search.
Because there is another channel that has a space, and it's a different one. So
right. We'll get it. The link put in the chat for you guys.
Awesome.
All right, MG,
Awesome.
take care.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you too. All right, let's get back over to the document. Oh, and I did get the chat said I did have technical problems when I couldn't open the document. They're right. So we had to cross that one off too.
Uh-oh.
What?
No, nothing. Just having
Thank you,
technical
Ellie.
problems.
Thank you, Ellie, for the MG Law link. It is now in the chat. Please go and check that out. Okay, where were we? Yes, number 4. Although respondent believes the alleged pregnancy was a con, scam, rerun, he needs access to disclosure and documents ostensibly in petitioner's possession. Petitioner's blatant refusal to comply with the rules of the court and instead push her own narrative has required further legal involvement in obtaining this information, which petitioner claims to possess. Respondent has continuously provided petitioner with ample opportunity for her to admit she fabricated this entire pregnancy or to comply with court rules, only to be rebuffed or outright ignored. Exhibits 2 through 4 as a sample of respondent's efforts. 2/5/2024. Since we have not received any disclosure from Owens, the RFPs remain outstanding. The HIPAAs have not been executed, provided 3 times. The fetal death certificates provided 2 times, also ostensibly not executed. And we still need to depose Laura after she failed to appear at her deposition. We are going to file a motion to continue and request additional trial time. 2/8/2024. You have not yet responded to our motion to continue and for additional time, nor have we received a written response. I am guessing that you are having significant client control issues, as evidenced by Laura's recent behavior in California and online. Ooh, what'd she do in California?
Well, I know that there was the Dave Neal settlement, but that sounds about the right time, but I don't know what happens there specifically.
Recent behavior in California. We have a mystery, folks. Who knows? Figure it out. Go to Reddit. Ask them. I appreciate that Laura is going to refuse, contrary to law and court rules, to provide actual medical records, as there are none that support her under oath statements. Assuming we will continue to receive no disclosure from your client, our motion to compel is forthcoming. Yeah. 2/9/2024. Things just keep getting more ridiculous. We need a t-shirt that says that. Even after my email yesterday, there is another article by your client. Since Laura's bag of tricks tends to fit a pattern, we suspect that the postings were a contrived ploy to yet again request a motion to seal. I appreciate that your client wants to view herself as a victim by the press that she incited. Oh my God, is that fantastic? I appreciate that your client wants to view herself as a victim by the press that she incited. Oh my God, that's good.
Whatever Clayton's paying Woodnick, it is so worth it.
It's worth every penny. It's worth every damn penny. That she incited and continues to stoke with her articles. Greg, you are a wordsmith, sir. You are a great writer. From one writer to another. Cheers. God, this is fantastic. But these postings should be viewed with several grains of salt.
You're going to be eating the whole salt mine doing that.
We just put the salt lick down for the entire block. We personally tried to find the alleged postings, but to no avail.
Oh, we found them.
We found them, but maybe they were gone by the time he looked. Should you be inclined to file anything further regarding the opacity of the legal proceedings that Laura instigated? Please promptly disclose the alleged postings in a manner that complies with Rule 2 so we can assess the same and properly respond to the court in kind. Oh, did we miss footnote number 1? No, it's coming up right now.
Yep.
Petitioner says she is no longer pregnant, but has failed to identify if it is a result of fetal death or the alleged babies have been put up for adoption. Footnote number 1 says, notably, respondent attempted to register himself on Arizona putative father's registry in the event the petitioner actually delivered twins and or claimed to have put them up for adoption as a reason for explaining their non-existence. See respondent's notice of filing affidavit of non-paternity. This is the nexus of her conduct in choosing to continually refuse to engage in discovery or disclose records, and precisely the reason respondent is entitled to relief, including sanctions, attorney's fees, and finding that the action was not filed in good faith. Based on her testimony before Judge Gail Ketsis on 11/2/2023, I think it was 11/4. 11/2 would have been a Saturday. So I think this is it's a typo. It was November 4th, I believe. According to my calendar, the second would have been a Saturday. That she was 100% pregnant and 24 weeks. An appearance with a moon bump on October 24th, 24, petitioner must answer for what allegedly happened to the fictitious twin fetuses. Both fetal death.
11/2 is a Thursday, and
so
the
my
4th is
calendar
a Saturday.
My calendar's wrong? How is my calendar wrong? I looked at my calendar. What's wrong with my calendar?
You may have been looking at October. No, because that would have been a Monday. Oh, December.
November 4th is a Saturday.
Right.
2023, November 4th was a Saturday.
So Wait. It wouldn't have been that. It would have been the second.
It was the second. Oh, shit. I gotta
You were looking
fix
at December, because December 4th would have put the second and Saturday.
Okay. I gotta fix something. Okay, I gotta fix that in my article because I think I put down the wrong date. Correction.
Of all the things, that's
a
relatively minor one.
Yeah. So the Friday she saw Higley would have been October 27th. October 27th. All right, October 27th. All right. As required per statute, and blank HIPAA releases have been provided to petitioner 3 times, which have gone unacknowledged. See Exhibit 2. If impossible from oral sex, petitioner was actually pregnant, delivered twins, and or suffered a miscarriage post 24 weeks gestation at any point during this proceeding, she would have verifiable medical evidence. To date, no fetal death certificates have been executed. No confirmable medical evidence has been presented, and petitioner has continued to claim protection while reaching out to the media directly. For all respondent knows, the imaginary twins are buried at a horse ranch.
Oof.
Oof. Wow, that's dark. But also very true. For all we know.
Very possible.
To discuss the outstanding motions, as well as the blatant absence of disclosure discovery by a petitioner, respondent requests that this court set an expedited status for 30 minutes. Respondent also requests this reasonable attorney's fees cost pursuant to the rules. Continued disregard because of her noncompliance, disregard for Rule 49, disclosure obligation, and her wholesale unreasonable behavior in bringing this litigation, despite providing no verifiable proof that she was ever pregnant. Respectfully signed, Zaddy Gregg. And here is the copy of her Medium article. I'm not sure which one this was.
From plea to persecution.
This one, she's had so many of them that okay, whatever. Here we go. And then there's the other one, The Night Things Changed, where she's just accusing Dave Neal of inciting harassment and death threats against her. Exhibit 2 is the email, Greg's doing it, by the way. He's writing the exhibits out in his pleadings already. Good for him, because we already read this. So yeah, these are just the emails. that we already read in the motion. I love this one. Things just keep getting more ridiculous. So good.
Notwithstanding the severe lack of discovery, please disclose a copy of your fee agreement by the end of business tomorrow, along with the same from all of the prior counsel in this matter.
That's interesting. Now, that's an interesting request. I would really like to know what that fee agreement is.
Because if for whatever reason the other attorneys were being paid more than what he's charging, he could go for reasonable fees. But if for some reason Laura wins by some stretch of the imagination for whatever reason, and then Woodnick has to pay fees, he now has documented all of the fees that would have been paid.
Yeah, that would be really good information to have. Ellie Fent says, I've had a second trimester miscarriage. I'm so sorry to hear that, Ellie. She is full of crap. She would have been hospitalized and have records. Absolutely, she would have been. Absolutely. With twins at 20 weeks. Hope, thanks for the super chat, says, Larry DUI guy did an interview with What the Hales, the ones I asked you to cover on Twitter. Well, I have good news for you, Hope. I know he did, and I already watched it, and I reached out to him. And Larry and I are actually going to start covering this case together. And I also reached out to the Hales, the three of us, or four of us, him and his wife, are hopefully going to schedule watching one of their hearings together with Larry on my channel. And we're going to analyze this out-of-control judge that is going after What the Hales, who have a huge channel on YouTube. They are almost at 1 million followers, and they are being so badly treated. Their First Amendment rights have been removed by this crazed judge in Florida. Their rights have been trampled. So yes, I will be covering that case that is upcoming. We are just working on scheduling right now. Thank you for letting me know about it. And I'm sorry it took me a while to respond about it, but sometimes these things take some time. But yeah, if you guys want to get caught up on What the Hales and what is going on with them, go to DUI guy Larry's channel and watch his most recent interview with the Hales, and you'll get caught up. And then pay attention to my channel and to Locals, because you'll find out when I'm going to be streaming with Larry and hopefully the Hales, and we're going to go over what is happening to them. One of the things that's happening to them actually relates to this case. This is really kind of scary because we see that Laura Owens is trying to hold Dave Neal responsible for things that perhaps someone in his audience may have said or done online. In the Hales case, a judge in Florida has actually issued an order that says Mr. Hale will be arrested if anyone in his audience mentions the name of the person who is harassing him. So he has had to go on an almost 1 million follower channel, go through all of his social media and block her name from being able to be published on any of the chats or the comments. And it's unbelievable. This judge has said he would jail this man if a third party talks about or tries to contact this woman who's been harassing him, who's a neighbor of his in Florida. This is totally illegal. Like, it is completely illegal. And this judge in Florida is just off the charts, black robitis, off his rocker. And I think this is really important that we cover this issue, because look at what Laura Owens is trying to do. She's trying to get a judge to hold Dave Neal responsible for something that someone, could be a troll, could be her, who knows, said on Facebook. Yeah, the judge needs to be removed from the bench, but I can tell you right now, he will not be. He will not be. How is he supposed to police that? It doesn't matter. If the respondent, whoever the petitioner or I think he sued her, so he's the petitioner and she's the respondent. If she goes to the judge and shows the judge, oh, hey, look at this death threat I got or whatever from this person, or look at my name is on his social media account, the judge claims he'll have him arrested. He hasn't done it yet, but he's going to. And the what the Hales channel on YouTube, they're treasure hunters. They go to they hunt all kinds of different treasure, from like dinosaur bones to storage lockers where they will buy storage lockers and resell the items, but they've reached such a level that they do all this really amazing charity work where they will buy storage lockers and return it to the person who lost it, and like actually pay to have all their things returned to their home. And and they've given hundreds of thousands of dollars to children's charities, and they're Christian people. They're really nice people who have done tons of charity work, given tons of money away. And it's not good what's happening to them in a court in Florida. So I'm definitely going to be taking a look at that, because this is some kind of nonsense that needs to be looked at by someone in authority in Florida. Now, the only thing that can be done to a judge like this is impeachment, and the House of Representatives in any state has pretty much never done that, and they're not going to. But what can also be done is hopefully they will file a motion to strike this judge and have him off the case. I think they've already tried, and I think that he refused to do it. But if there's enough media attention, I don't think he'll have a choice. So we'll see. We'll see. But there's so many ins and outs to that case. It's going to take a really long time to get into it. But definitely check out DUI Guy's video on that, because he interviewed them and he did a really good job kind of boiling it down to a 1.5 hour interview to kind of get to the bones of the case. And it's hard to catch up on it if you haven't heard about it and you just go to their channel, because they have this is like 7 months of legal back and forth that they've been going through with their neighbors. It's a nightmare. So check out DUI Guy's channel and then stay tuned, because we will be doing more on that here. All right, Brad, it's time for me to say goodnight.
Yep.
I got to go eat, and we're going to redirect. Oh yeah, I got to redirect. Hold on. We're not leaving yet. I got to redirect and also do the super chat. Brad, will you read the last super chat? Oh wait, I already did. I already got that one. Okay. Let me get over to YouTube's via the internets into my studio, which I am not in.
So
currently.
While she's redirecting everyone, tomorrow should be day 10 of Fox Den Daily, which you guys have been killing it in downloading and subscribing to the show.
They
so
sure
please
have.
continue to do that. I might have to do some more voice work for Megan.
You do amazing voice work. Well, you do. It's really good.
I do appreciate it, but continuing to follow. Are you bringing up Bahama Mamas tomorrow?
Yeah, we probably should. I did it on the podcast today on episode 9. I did talk about that. So there's an update on that. So if you guys haven't listened to today's podcast, well, I guess, yeah, it's still today. To today's episode 9, make sure that you do that, because there is an update in the Bahama Mamas case that you should definitely hear. I'm leaning towards they are telling the truth. And I think that we should withhold our judgment and hope that they get justice at this point. But tune in for the details on that. Of course, the Fox Den Daily podcast is available on all podcasting networks that you can find out there: Apple, Spotify, whatever, Amazon, whatever you're listening to, that it should be there. And you can hear the details of that. All right. I'm out of here. You have been redirected to MG Law. Go and watch the Brian Smith trial with him and support in missing and murdered Indigenous women, because the media sure as shit isn't going to do it for you. So MG Law is going to do it instead. All right, guys, you take care and have a great night.
Thank you.